Welcome to We Geek Podcast. Today is January 17th. We are on episode 126. My name is Adam, joined by my good friend Logan.
Hello.
And how's your week been, man?
Oh, you know, same old, same old.
Same old, same old.
Yeah, getting ready for some snow up here. They're saying there's going to be like 2 inches, which means we have to shut the county down.
Oh, geez, is that how it is up there?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, man, you guys get all the season. You think they'd be prepared for it.
Well, but the thing is, we don't get snow all that often, so they're like, we have to treat the roads, and then we'll get the plows out, but the plow's only good if it's so much accumulation, and the brine is only good if it's not, you know, into the 20s, and it's going to wind up in the teens, so the brine won't be all that effective, and there might not be enough snow to get plowed, so it's, oh my god.
Oh, wow. I was under the impression that you guys got snow every year and a lot of it for like a few months.
We get snow like once a year, maybe.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, yeah, no, I get, because the one time I went up there when I was a kid, it snowed like crazy. I remember waking up and there's snow all over the place, and I just assumed that, I guess.
Well, and it depends on what part of the state, too.
That's true. I don't remember where we went. But what I do remember is it was the Christmas we got a Sega Genesis, and somehow Santa knew that we were up there and not down in Florida.
Interesting.
I have no idea how that happened, but
Magic, bro.
Right. We woke up and our presents were there, so it was a good thing, and we got to play Sonic the Hedgehog, and we went out like that day and. Because like one of the other gifts was like we could go pick a game, because I guess they just didn't know what we'd want. They wanted to make sure we'd get something we'd play,
Sure.
because they were super expensive. You know, like in our family, we got like one game and it lasted like 6 months until someone's birthday or something. And so we had Sonic, which was more than enough of a game for me and my brothers, and we all picked out X-Men because that's what we were obsessed with. And that game was fun as hell too, hard, super hard. I think there's a point in the X-Men game where you have to restart the Sega.
Yeah, I seem to remember that.
In the Mojo Rallyverse, that you join into. You have to hit the reset button. Of course, we were dumb kids. We didn't know anything about that. I don't even think we got that far. We got to I remember getting to Apocalypse and just like. We gave up at some point and moved on from the game, but yeah, it was Christmas time when we went up there last. Well, it's crazy, man. Yeah, I don't. It gets cold here for like a day or two for Florida, and I say cold. I mean like it drops to the 30s, which is cold for Florida. So everyone's freezing, and we just don't know what to do with ourselves. But we can't complain because the rest of the country, when we're cold, the rest of the country is like in an igloo.
Yeah. I remember being down there, and it gets like below 60, and people just start losing their minds.
Oh, absolutely!
Like as soon as that first digit becomes a 5, like everybody's just like, oh my god, hat, scarves, mittens. We have to pull on 2 pairs of boots. Like it's hilarious. It really is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 60 degrees I'm okay with. 50s, that's when I'm like, all right, I gotta wear pants. Can't wear shorts at this point in time. That's when you get the pajama pants instead of the gym shorts or something. But yeah, no, man, I don't envy you with that. That's rough, and you got to be on the roads too, which is even scarier. So
yeah, I go to my theater job tomorrow, maybe. So.
Oh, maybe.
It's gonna depend. You know, if
right.
Look, man, I love it. It's fun. It's minimum wage. If I'm looking at the roads and going, I may die before I get there, I ain't going.
Right. Yeah, no, man. Dude, I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's just not happening.
I do not blame you, man. absolutely not. Yeah. So, but yeah, man. So, just been chilling. You seen any movies?
Yeah, I saw a few lately. I
Cool.
saw The Shape of Water,
Mm,
which I loved. It was such a Del Toro movie.
yeah.
It's fantastic like that.
Oh yeah.
Um, and
It looks like Abe Sapien in the movie.
yeah, yeah, kind of.
Cool.
Except he can't talk.
Right. Oh, he doesn't talk in
Uh-uh.
the.
His
Oh.
because he's like an actual fish creature. Like there's
Oh.
no he doesn't speak English.
Well, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I in the trailer, you're right. I don't remember him talking. I didn't know if they communicated somehow, but that's cool.
They work some things out. It's a really neat story, and it's at a good pace. It's
Mhm.
not overly drawn out of like, and this happens over the course of a year or something. Like
Right.
it's a fairly narrow time frame, but it's what, a condensed couple weeks maybe. It's enough
Okay.
to be believable. Like, oh yeah, I can see they fit this much progression into this time frame, but without stretching it out. So
Hmm. Oh yeah. Well, that's cool.
that was good. And I came back from seeing one today that I think you saw yesterday.
Oh, Jumanji. Yeah, I saw that Sunday night.
It's Sunday night. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we could talk about that later. Yeah, there's. I want to see The Shape of Water. I want to see The Post. I found that even with a movie pass, I'm hesitant on going to the movie theater
Really?
because it's a process, and I feel lazy, and I don't want to deal with people.
That's dude. That's why I hit Tuesday matinees. No,
Yeah,
there's nobody. And now because I know AMC does their $5 ticket Tuesdays, so that you're gonna have people there. But I've got a marquee here, and like there's been nobody there all day because
well,
it's a Tuesday. Like there's
right.
nobody goes to the movies on a Tuesday, really.
Yeah, man, I miss my Tuesdays off. Starting soon, I'm going to have Fridays and Saturdays off, so I'll be able to see a movie on Friday during the daytime, which won't be so busy. I imagine they'll get some traffic, but if I go like in the morning, it won't be a big deal.
And it depends on what you're gonna go see.
Right,
Because
right.
from what I had seen, and it's really funny working at a movie theater and seeing like, oh, I can tell on Thursday night what's gonna win the weekend,
Hmm.
and that's kind of fascinating to me.
Oh yeah, that is
Um,
fascinating.
because you think like, oh, this is new and this has got a lot of buzz, so
Hmm.
it should do well. And then I look at my sheet and I'm going, there are like 8 people here to see The Post, and there's 20 to see Jumanji. I wonder
Right,
which one's gonna be number one.
right, for sure, for sure.
But
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, Jumanji, the theater is pretty packed. I got lucky; I didn't have people, bunch of people sitting next to me. But most of the theater was packed. It was one of those deals that I had a oh, what's the website that I go to get the Fandango. I had a bunch of Fandango credit that I had from gosh, last year. And I wanted to see Jumanji in the Dolby theater
yeah,
there. So I used that cuz I know I can't use that with the movie pass. So
right.
I ended up going to the drove to Altamont, did the Dolby Theater. It was fantastic. The sound really just like, especially when the drums are going and everything else, and
Oh
like
God,
that yeah, and that kind
yes.
of plays into the movie, and it was really good. And like I got out and I was like, oh, I could see another movie. I could see The Post. I could see The Shape of Water. And when I walked by Star Wars, I noticed there was one person in there, and it was a few minutes to the movie started. I thought, well, if I was a crazy person, I could have like pretty much this whole theater to myself. And I was exhausted. You go to the movies and you're like, well, I could probably knock out two if I wanted to. And after the first one, you're like, I don't know, it's 10 o'clock on a Sunday and I could probably go home and rest.
Nah, give me. I want to go back to doing that on like. I hate just having one day because
Yeah.
that used to be my thing. Man, I would go like on a Monday and just do like 4 movies in a row.
Yeah.
I love doing that. I haven't done that since Bridge of Spies, which was this time
Oh, wow.
last year, right? It was Christmas. It was not this past Christmas, but the year
Brid-
before, I think. Yeah.
Bridge of Spies was a few years ago.
No,
right?
it's only been. Oh, it was year before last.
2015.
God, was it really?
Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah. I remember seeing that. Yeah, I saw that with my grandparents, I think. Um, oh no,
Wow.
I saw that at their house. I forget. Yeah, no, it's been a while.
Yeah, damn, I didn't know
Um,
it'd been that long. I thought it was.
October 2015. Yeah.
Wow, I thought it was 16. I'll be damned.
Yep, time's flying.
Yeah, no kidding.
Getting scary. Oh, it needs to slow down a little bit. But yeah, yeah. No, see, I was so close to doing it too because I'm like I'm right here. I'm dressed. I'm already here. The thing was, I always make the same mistake. I get a big ass thing of popcorn and I down it, and then I got like my mouth is salty as hell.
Yeah.
I had a Long Island, so that was
That probably didn't
so
help. Yeah.
that probably didn't help, but it made a Jumanji a little bit more enjoyable. Even though it was really good, I thought. Yeah, but it was just I thought, well, that'd be fun to have, and then yeah, it was just. I don't know. I was there and I was like, do I want to stay for 2 more hours and watch something like The Post after Jumanji? I wasn't in the right mood, I guess. Because Jumanji's such a fun movie, and then I would have went into like super serious The Post. But you
Yeah.
know what? Well, we'll talk about that later. It would have been cool to see Tom Hanks after that, though. But yeah, so I don't know. And then it's just so tempting to walk by Star Wars, and you're like, I could go and watch that at any time. But yeah, I don't know. I'll see it at some point this week, The Post. And I want to see The Shape of Water as well. I don't even know because I know this is January, so this is like nothing comes out in January. The next,
Yeah, except everything came out. We got 6 freaking movies last weekend.
what movie came out?
Well, I mean, we had just look at everything that got a wide release it wasn't if it wasn't something that just came out. And even if we don't want to see it, these are all movies that did come out. The Commuter.
But that's what I mean.
Well,
like,
but I mean, this was kind of my point. It's not like all the big movies came out, but just a lot of movies. We got The Commuter, Paddington 2, The Post, Proud Mary, Darkest Hour, and I know there was at least one more that came out for that weekend. Yeah. Like that's what I mean. Like I'm not debating quality or anything. I'm just saying.
Right.
Oh shit. Sorry. I just saw there. Apparently, Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be the new Batman.
Oh really?
Damn. Yeah, I was going through I was just looking at Google. I was like, I'm gonna look up what movies came out this week, and like on the. How on mobile Google it does like the headlines below the search bar, and I was boo. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Apparently after Affleck dips out, then.
Yeah.
Bummer.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You don't like Jake Gyllenhaal?
I just don't. Not as Batman.
Yeah.
Not as Batman.
I don't know. I think it could work. I'm wondering how they're going to do it. I'm sure it'll have to be timey-wimey with what they're doing with the Flash.
It'll be something from Flashpoint.
Suddenly I'm young,
Yeah, right.
But yeah, you can tell Ben Affleck's just. I think he's a little jaded. They took the movie from him. He's not directing it. He's not writing it.
Well, I don't know if they took it from him or he looked at what was going on and said, you know what, this is just going to be too much hassle for me to write, direct, and star.
Well, didn't they pass on it though? It's not that like he wanted to do it.
Oh yeah, that's right. They passed. Did they? I think he passed on the directing and then they passed on the script.
Right.
Or vice versa. I think one. I think they each passed on one.
Yeah.
And I want to say I think his passing on things was not. It wasn't like I see you don't want me to do this kind of thing. I think it's more. He looked around at the mess that Warner Brothers is still in, trying to figure out what to do with DC, and just said, you know what, I'm good.
Right. Well, yeah. So I don't know. That's interesting. I like Jake Gyllenhaal. We'll see what happens.
Not as Batman. I don't see it. I don't buy it.
Yeah. It could be much worse.
Sure, but it could be better.
They could be like, you know what? We're just gonna go with something different. We're gonna get Pauly Shore down here, and and we got it going in new directions.
Oh God! But
I pay
here's
good money to see a Pauly Shore Batman movie.
I'm telling you what. Here's the thing that would put butts in seats.
Yeah,
Just because people would show up going, all right, half of us are drunk, half of us are stoned. The stoners all have the giant buckets of popcorn they're going to be done with before the end of the trailers, so that the drunk people can throw up in them, and then we're going to watch Pauly Shore try to be Batman. Go. Like,
Yep.
that's an SNL skit right there.
Oh yeah, totally. Yep. Um, but yeah. So, man, that'd be interesting. Yeah, but I think January and February for me is going to be like where I can, I talked about we can go see the Post and The Shape of Water and all these other kind of random movies that I normally wouldn't pay to go see because it's not my like to drop $17 or whatever. I would want
Right.
to go see a big blockbuster. So I'm gonna find I think I'm gonna find myself seeing more stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I want to see Coco too. That's still in the theaters, just playing on early time. So I definitely have to go on the weekend for that. I
Yeah.
won't be able to go during the weekdays because well, I'm sure it's because the kids or whatnot. So
Yeah. Just
but
trying to
yeah,
see like
man.
what comes out in the next. Like, is there anything? There's stuff that people want to be big, like the last Maze Runner movie comes out next week, which won't be big.
Yeah,
But they'll want it to be. Den of Thieves is this week. That's another one that nobody's gonna go see. Sorry, guys.
right.
February.
The Commuter came out, I think, but I'm not going to see that.
Yeah, it came out, but no. I think we've seen like. I think I've seen like 8 people go see
Yeah.
that. February 2nd, the only halfway decent one is, or at least halfway decent marketed one anyway, is Winchester.
Oh, okay.
The one about the haunted house that was basically like that's the house from the first season of American Horror Story, I think. And
Hmm. Oh, okay.
they were like, yeah, we can make a movie out of it too. Um, but then it goes all to hell because the following weekend is 50 Shades.
Hmm.
Oh, that's the 9th. I was hoping they were going to hold off on that for a week so I could miss it, but
There you
bummer.
go. Good date movie.
Yeah, you're not kidding, man. Uh, the week after that is Black Panther.
Oh, you missed Peter Rabbit.
Yeah, well, it comes out the same day as 50 Shades, so I know what everybody's going to be going to see that weekend.
Right.
Then Black Panther. And then after that, I think like the next week is kind of intentional. Well, no, Annihilation is the week after that.
What's Annihilation?
The Natalie Portman movie.
I don't.
You
What is
go.
she?
It's this weird science fiction thing it's based on a book that was apparently really good.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
it's weird. Go check. Yeah, when we get done, check out the trailer. It's
Okay.
interesting. And Game Night, which is just it's another one of these like, oh, here's a bunch of these guys and they all do it's what who is it? It's Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams and Jeffrey
Hmm.
Wright, and it's the next like, oh, we're adults and things kind of go wacky, like kind of hangover-y type of movie.
Oh, okay.
um is there anything the next week? Not really. Like the first week of March is kind of dead because Red Sparrow has had no press. There's
Right.
been no ad campaign for that. Uh, Death
Yeah.
Wish is also
March.
March 2nd.
March looks just dead as can be.
March is dead for the first week, but not after that.
Um.
March 9th, A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh, why did I think they went? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right.
March 16th, Tomb Raider.
Mm, okay.
March 23rd, Pacific Rim Uprising.
Now that I will definitely be my butt in the seat that opening.
And then March 30th is our movie.
Oh yeah, Ready Player One.
Yeah. So I mean, every weekend in March is going to be big.
Okay, so I feel better about March.
Yeah, maybe not quite so much the 16th because I don't think a ton of people are going to go see Tomb Raider.
Yeah, it just to me it doesn't look that.
It's the
And
game.
we're the audience. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, it's exactly the reboot game. That's
Yeah.
all they've done is turn that into a movie, which I'm okay with. But every time I'm doing a theater check at the start to make sure trailers go, and it's the Tomb Raider trailer, I always wait till the end to hear reactions because I've never heard a positive reaction.
Right.
I've never even heard just silence. I've always heard at least one person go, "Ugh."
Yeah, that looks
And
dumb.
for any reason, I'm just
Right.
I don't know. So that's our first quarter this year. So it's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, yeah. April looks great too. I mean, you got New Mutants and
No, we don't.
Rampage with The Rock.
No, we don't. We don't
Oh
have New
yeah, they
Mutants.
moved it, didn't
They
they?
moved it to next February.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
because they didn't want overlap. Because in some markets, Deadpool and New Mutants would be out at the same time.
What?
Yeah, and they don't want that.
Wait, so when is Deadpool out?
May 18th. They moved it up
Oh.
2 weeks.
Oh, okay. So,
The week before Solo.
oh wow,
It was originally June 1st, which was the week after Solo.
gotcha. That's that's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to see that Isle of Dogs movie.
Isle of Dogs just looks so weird. Like, I mean, it's a Wes Anderson film, so of course it looks weird.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, it looks bizarre.
we've got a giant, like, cardboard standee of like all the dogs.
Yep, I saw that.
Have you seen that? God, that thing freaks me out sometimes. Like if I'm coming around a corner too quick and just kind of catch a glimpse of that or something, it scares me.
It caught my attention when I went and saw Jumanji, and I was like, you know what? That's you got to be in the right mood for it. But that'd be something. That's one of the things where like I have the movie pass. Like I can just be like, let's go get weird for a few hours and see a weird movie.
It's that's fair. That's very fair.
Oh yeah.
April's gonna be an interesting month. First week, probably not a whole lot going on. I think Blockers will do good, but it won't do gangbusters for sure.
Right.
The week after that, is there anything? Nothing really big. The 13th. Rampage on the 20th.
What did they switch again?
What do you mean?
Because that's when New Mutants was going to come out, but they just completely move it. They didn't put anything in its place.
No,
they just pushed Deadpool. That's right.
They popped Deadpool up 2 weeks and then pushed New Mutants to next year.
Oh, okay. So there's nothing out on the 13th really. That's big.
Yeah.
And then the next week they have the Rampage and Super Troopers.
Yeah, Rampage on the 20th. I don't know, is Super Troopers even going to get a wide release, or is it going to be like a half wide release?
I don't know.
Because wide release is like 3,000 plus theaters.
I think it still has an audience. I think people, like my friends, all know that Super Troopers 2 is coming out.
That's true. I mean, Rampage is going to win that weekend.
Yeah.
But
it's The Rock and a big gorilla, of course.
Yeah, right.
Right.
But given like everything else, I mean, we're 3 weeks after
There's
Ready.
no advertising.
Yeah, there's like 3 weeks after Ready Player One. It'll be second or third, I imagine. I'm just trying to see real quick if it's gonna be wide release or doesn't say. It doesn't say. It just says released.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like that'll be kind of interesting. It'll be interesting to see like just how because I think it's gonna go like the half wide release, like the 1,1600 screens. I don't think it's gonna be a full wide release.
I see that there is there's like a thing here for Cloverfield.
Oh, is that the A24 movie? Or God Particle, right? Where is it?
Yeah. So that's scheduled for then. So
That's ooh okay. Never mind. I think that's gonna be your second place.
yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything Cloverfield, I'm in. That last one was fantastic, and I liked the first one. I was one of the rare people that did. I thought that was just a cool way to do things. But yeah, so I'm totally in for a third one. Doesn't matter what kind it is. I hope that I just don't. I honestly hope they don't show anything. Like I just hope that we know it's impossible. They're not going to do that because obviously they need people to go see the movie. But I would love to walk in that movie only knowing that it's called God Particle.
Yeah.
I would love that. I would just love to not see anything or hear anything about it. Nothing. Just walk into it and go, okay,
Well,
surprise.
this is interesting. Um, hang on. I need to take a look at this real quick. There's apparently some news about this movie.
Okay.
They have. Oh, but yeah, that's right. Because it's the 20th. It was gonna be this. When was it supposed to be released? Oh, it was gonna be October. Damn. Then again, the February. Oh, it was gonna be February 2nd, and then they bumped it again. Huh. And they've dropped the title.
What do you mean?
According to IGN, what I'm reading here, while the God Particle name was used early in the film's development, that title seems to have been all but dropped at this point, with Paramount officially referring to the film as, quote, untitled Cloverfield sequel.
There we go. That's fine. This just has the name Cloverfield. People are gonna okay, it's tied to that universe.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. All right, so that's gonna be
Yeah.
strange. I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that, but okay.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
IMDb has Cloverfield movie, and Movie Insider, which I was pulling my list up, is just Cloverfield 2000. This says 2017. What are they talking
well,
about?
It was supposed to be last October.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's like, what? That'd be funny if they just call it Cloverfield 2017.
I would love for him to keep that. That would be great, because that would mess people up. But it's 2018. What the hell?
They would go, I've seen that movie. That's with John Goodman, right?
Yeah. No, that was Cloverfield 2016. 2015?
Right.
2016, 2015.
Yeah, but I wouldn't blame one person if they saw the title where it's like, oh, okay, I've seen that.
Yeah, exactly. The good news is the 27th is going to be a nice little slow week for us.
Yep.
Because then we get May 4th.
Yep. That's the big one.
Yeah, man.
Animal crackers.
Dude, oh, you stole my joke. Damn it.
Oh, my bad.
That's so where I was gonna go. I was like, this movie's gonna be huge. It's got a crazy all-star cast in it from everywhere. People from, just
Sylvester Stallone.
dude, look at this cast, man. Emily Blunt, Ian McKellen, Danny DeVito, Sylvester Stallone, Raven Simone, Wallace Shawn from Princess Bride is in this movie.
Jesus.
I'm kind of sad nobody's gonna come see this movie.
I didn't know that movie existed until right this moment. Those are huge names.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And that's going to carry through the next week, no question.
Yeah.
And then we get to Deadpool 2.
Mm-hmm.
Followed up immediately with Solo.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be curious to see how well Ocean's 8 does.
Yeah. I never was into the Ocean series.
Oh, I love them.
Not my cup of tea. Those are the kind of movies where even if I'm like watching it at home on USA, I'm falling asleep and changing the channel.
That's fair.
Yeah, but just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, that's all right. I love them. I love good heist movies.
Yeah.
And even just silly heist movies, because the later Ocean sequels were kind of goofy.
Yeah,
but I
like the goofier ones. Goofier the better. Like the Fast and the Furious are. I was going to call them the Fantastic Furious, but which is not too far off. That's going to be a title.
Yeah, just wait.
Right, I'm totally down for those movies, and they're sort of heist movies. A lot of them are. They end up being heist movies where they're like, we gotta steal this back from them using our cars and our abilities. But outside of that, just because that universe is so wacky, I like it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I love Ant-Man. I guess it just has to. Oh, there has to be just a gimmick for me. It can't just be like a bunch of beautiful people robbing something. You know what I mean?
Well, the Ocean's movies didn't have all beautiful people. They had Don Cheadle.
Yeah, but I don't know. When I think of Oceans, I think it had like George Clooney and Brad Pitt, and
Yeah, when your headliners are that and Matt
Don Cheadle
Damon
isn't that bad. It's just, I just think of like they were like, let's pick some really hot
yeah.
actors and put them in a movie, and I don't know. It reminded me of like, how can we do a 007 if we had like 8 of them and they robbed something?
Kind of, yeah, more or less.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's cool.
I rag on Don Cheadle because his accent in those movies is just awful. Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, really?
Because it's a Cockney accent.
Oh, see, I have no idea.
Oh man, you just got to look up a clip of it just to see Don Cheadle do it because it's hilarious. It's
That's funny.
Oh, it's so bad, but it's hilarious. So I don't know. I don't see it doing tremendously well. I mean, you're gonna have Deadpool and Star Wars. I see this being a distant third.
Oh yeah, I'll probably
best.
be seeing both of those movies that week
Yeah.
as well as the weeks they came out.
And then the following week we have Incredibles 2, which is gonna be madness.
Right.
Oh, it's gonna be insane. That's the 15th. Where are we? 22nd, Jurassic World. 29th is kind of a slow week. I mean, Sicario 2, but I don't
know what the...
because Sicario was good. Sicario came out, what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
I never saw that one.
It's good. It's really good. But I don't see the sequel doing tremendously well. So we'll call that kind of a catch-up week, maybe. A lot of people are going to be seeing Jurassic World and Incredibles 2, probably. Interestingly, The Purge has a 4th movie coming out, which I've not heard anything about. And it's coming out on the 4th of, what month are we in now? July. Yeah, because 2 days later is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Well, the Purge has an interesting twist. It's a prequel, and it's all on an island, so it's like Battle Royale.
Okay, so it's like... So it's a remake of The Hunger Games, which was a remake of Battle Royale.
Right. I think they should just call it PlayerUnknown's The Purge: The Island.
If they called it PlayerUnknown's The Purge, I bet it would draw a bigger crowd.
Oh, definitely.
I really bet it would.
I love how in the game it's just known as Death Island.
Yeah.
I wish the creators would just embrace that. But that's just what everybody calls it.
Yeah.
So that's what I think of when I see The Purge: The Island. I'm like, oh, that's PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. They're all dropped on an island and they have to survive.
But yeah, on the 6th we have Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Should be good.
On the 13th, it doesn't matter because everybody's still going to be seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, but Hotel Transylvania, don't kids like that? This girl I know, her kids love those movies.
Look, that one will not do bad. It's not gonna. That's gonna be your second place for that weekend.
It's got like Adam Sandler and Selena Gomez, right? Selena.
Yeah, it's
cool.
it's basically Adam Sandler is Dracula who runs a hotel for monsters.
Oh, okay.
It's kids animation, and it's that kind of benign kids animation where I'm just like,
right.
Oh, okay, they did, they had like fun little monsters. It's like Count Chocula the movie. I'm okay with it. Like, that's fine.
I saw they're on a cruise ship. It's like a hotel for the sea or some lame joke,
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be your second place.
What's The Nun? Is that the...
That's another Conjuring spinoff.
Yeah, okay, I remember because there was a nun in the last one.
Yeah, that's where that's from.
That just sounds terrible. It sounds like Annabelle too.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. Annabelle Creation was so good.
I did not like... Oh, there was a second one?
There was a prequel. And it's so much better. Yeah, the actual one that was just Annabelle was not great. I did not like that. Annabelle Creation, really good.
Oh, I'll check that out.
Yeah, they made one after as a prequel, and it... Like, they just kind of kicked it out there. There wasn't a lot of build-up to it like there was with Annabelle, because I think they felt like they got burned. But it was so much better. It was like the second Ouija movie.
Oh, yeah, that was the one where it had like the actual little girl in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was good. And then where are we?
Mamma Mia?
July 20th. Yeah, I don't think there's a big crowd for this.
I never watched the Mamma Mia movies. It's just a bunch of singing and
It's
dancing.
it's a musical. Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
okay,
musical.
gotcha.
And that's which is just a bunch of singing and dancing, really.
Right.
But I don't think, I mean, the whole thing is like it's been 10 years, and it's like we're bridging the generations, and there's like intermittent flashbacks and everything, or whatever. I don't know. The trailer was like, oh, okay, we're gonna tell the story of how these people became these awesome people because the next generation is growing up and needs to hear the stories of how they came of age.
What's the overalls
I
for?
Because she wears overalls.
Oh, okay. The
In,
mama?
Instead of dresses, I guess. I don't know. I
Oh, okay.
haven't seen Mamma Mia in forever,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
so I don't remember all that much of it. The sleeper for that weekend, and nobody's going to go see this, but I encourage people to go see it. July 20th, Alita: Battle Angel.
Oh, yeah. That's the one where it looks like the doll or the toy or whatever,
Yeah, have you seen the trailer?
like a robot, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting. Like the more I see the trailer, the more I'm like, I'm curious. So I definitely want to check that out.
Yeah.
And then the 27th, we have Mission Impossible 6,
Mm-hmm.
which is, oh boy, is going to win the next 2 weekends, I think. It's going to win that weekend and at least one more.
What's this one about?
I don't know. Tom Cruise jumps off of something else. I don't know. It's the one with Henry Cavill's mustache. That's all I know.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
This is the one, yeah.
Why did I think he was in the Bond movie? It was Mission Impossible the whole time that he was
Yeah.
shooting.
Because they're practically Bond movies. It's almost like My Name is Bond, Tom Cruise
Right.
Bond anymore. It's just
Right.
It's yeah.
Simon Pegg's in it, right?
Yes, Simon Pegg is still in it.
Okay.
I think yes. Ving Rhames is in it. I love Ving Rhames.
Yeah, me too. They better live the whole time.
I think yeah, right. So that's gonna win that weekend. It'll win the next weekend too, even though there's some really good movies coming out on the 3rd. Where are we now? August 3rd.
August 3rd.
The Equalizer 2. I'm really looking forward to.
Now,
What's up?
I was gonna say The Predator. Do we know anything about that one?
I don't know a whole lot about it really.
Is it gonna? Yeah, so we don't know if it's going to be a prequel or a sequel or.
Or a complete reboot. I don't remember because we haven't heard about it. We haven't heard much about it for a long time.
Right.
So I mean, we'll get a trailer and everything. I mean, we're in August now, so they got plenty of time.
I remember there was I think it has to do with like the Predator in the city because there was a poster where it was like lightning striking.
Oh boy.
And I loved Predator 2. I don't know why people hated it.
Because it's awful.
Yeah.
The idea is great. I'm with you on the idea of like the Predator in an actual city.
Okay.
I like the idea. Predator 2 just did not do that well, but it was because it was a product of its time. They made the movie they were gonna make because of when they made the movie. But I don't know. It's a good idea, and if they went with it now, it'd be I'm in.
It has Keegan from Keegan and Peele.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Olivia Munn. Oh shit. It's a Shane Black movie. Okay. Oh, it looks like almost like soldiers because they're in tanks and stuff.
Well, I guess I don't know. They're hunting it.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Here we go. 4th installment, Predator film series, set to take place between Predator 2 and Predators.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna bridge that whole big gap.
Okay. What was the Predators movie about?
That was the one where that was
taken to a planet, right?
Yes, yeah, Adrian
Gotcha.
Brody and all
Right.
that.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm down. The poster looks dope. It's just like straight up lightning, but it looks like the Predator
Yeah,
face. That looks really cool.
Yeah,
That's an
that's-
awesome looking poster.
that is pretty cool. I can't wait till we get that one in.
Yeah.
Shoot, where were we? I lost my place. August.
August 3rd.
August 3rd. So let's go to August 10th.
The Spy Who Dumped Me.
Yeah, don't care.
Mila Kunis. I'm just kidding.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't either.
Oh my God, the Barbie movie is supposed to come out on the 8th.
Let's go Barbie. Hi,
I
yeah.
forgot about that. The 10th. Oh, the Scarface remake. Okay.
Okay.
That'll be good. With Diego Luna. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Um, and, Nasty Women is also that weekend. Okay, interesting.
Okay.
That's the Dirty Rotten Scoundrels remake.
Okay.
That's what that is. Interestingly, the screenplay was written by Jack Schaefer.
Oh, okay.
She is the one that they have just tapped to write the Black Widow screenplay.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I heard about that.
So that'll be kind of an interesting test balloon to say, hey, does this work?
Right.
Um, Good luck trying to find somebody online who'll edit all of the women out of that movie.
Jeez. Yeah,
People,
what
man.
the hell?
People.
I thought that was a joke. I thought it was like
Yeah.
yeah, how ridiculous some people can be, and here's like an Onion headline, and I was like, oh no,
No.
someone actually is that sad.
It's real. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That's why we can't have nice things.
No.
Where were we? Okay.
August 10th.
Now, I really love whoever decided to put these schedules together, just because on August 17th we have two movies coming out. One that looks kind of interesting, and that's Crazy Rich Asians.
What? Come again?
Crazy Rich Asians, directed by John Chu, starring Constance Wu, Henry Golden, handful of other people.
Okay.
Just because I don't feel like listing names, but should be funny.
Okay.
I'm actually genuinely looking forward to this.
It says a hilarious look at three super rich, privileged Chinese families. Let's see, whose predication for gossip, backstabbing, scheming reaches fever pitch when their heir to one of the most massive fortunes in Asia brings home its American-born Chinese girlfriend to the wedding of the season. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's based off a book. Okay.
Yeah, it should be a fun little comedy.
I've not seen the trailer. Is there a trailer for this?
I don't think so, not yet.
Okay.
Now, I may be wrong, but I don't think I've seen one yet.
That's cool.
And also coming out that week is a movie called White Boy Rick.
Okay. Matthew McConaughey.
I really just love whoever decided to put both of these movies out the same weekend.
Yeah, hey. There you go.
We can go see the Asians or the White Boy. What do you want to go see?
Very different movies from
Very different movies.
He's in Detroit, 1980s Detroit, the height of the crack epidemic, and the war on drugs. And so it's about a blue-collar father and his teenage son who become undercover informants. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah,
oh
very different films.
Jesus.
Here's another one on the 17th. God, there's a lot coming out on the 17th that I'm actually worried about. The Happy Time Murders.
What's that?
It's a puppet crime movie.
What?
Yeah. It's Melissa McCarthy and who else? Maya Rudolph and Elizabeth Banks, and it's like puppets are like it's kind of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit but with puppets.
Okay.
And less comedy, I think.
What?
Oh man.
It's gotta be comedy, but maybe some parts are taken seriously.
I think it's more. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Wait, that's something.
It's gonna be. I mean, that's just gonna be weird. But hey, look, I'm all for different. Go ahead, bring it on.
Oh, okay, okay. It's not the Muppets or anything, right?
No, but it's a Henson production.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's gonna be the Muppets. Like we're not gonna see Kermit, running a brothel or anything.
Huh?
But like, oh boy, I don't know.
I could totally see a Kermit detective movie. I would totally see that. I'd see that over Detective Pikachu any day. Get out of here.
Hey, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Jesus.
August 24th, there's absolutely nothing coming out because Cadaver's not going to amount to anything.
I don't know what that is.
And the closer we get to when it comes out, you still won't.
Right.
The 31st has nothing again.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's like Kin and The Little Stranger. Nobody knows about. Nobody's gonna see anything.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly, September 7th, there's a spot here for a quote New Line horror film.
Scream, you think?
Nah.
What would it be? That's the only thing I think of when I think New Line.
Yeah, Elm Street?
Yeah, that could be it.
I don't know.
I think they could totally do a new Scream. The television show is doing good.
I think you just stick with the TV series. Let that be the thing.
Yeah. Make it a YouTube Red series. Very millennial.
Now, that's not a bad idea.
No? I mean, that's kind of what Scream is all about, is like reinventing the genre for the time period. So a fucking Snapchat story wouldn't be that crazy.
No, if Twitter hadn't killed Vine, you could use that. But...
Oh, yeah. See, I think Snapchat would be such an interesting tool in the hands of an actual, like, producer, director. Like, just hear me out for a moment.
Okay.
Imagine a series on Snapchat that you knew came on Mondays at, like, 8 o'clock. And the story, you would see just instances from, like, a party or something like that. And there was a murder that took place. And every clip is like 30 seconds or a minute long. And you could tell really tense stories. And, you can have the story be like 30 minutes, but it's just told from different perspectives. And you're just seeing like 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. And it's cutting away. And you could shoot something where someone's freaked out with their phone out. And it cuts off. And then it comes back and the thing's there. And then after it cuts off. And then you're like waiting for the next clip. I know that sounds crazy. But in the right hands, that would keep you glued to your phone. You'd want to watch the whole thing if there was a cool story that played out.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true.
But I don't know why they haven't done that yet.
Probably because it's a pain in the ass to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, you would shoot it with your phone, but, you have people like J.J. Abrams claiming, look, you have a camera in your pocket that people in the 80s would just wish they had to shoot their own films, and we have it here in our pocket that shoots 1080 and all this other stuff to 4K video. So, to tell a story like that, oh, man, I wish I was that creative or had that much time on my hands where I could get a group of people together and be like, let's tell an interesting story. And then we put it on Snapchat. And who knows, that story could go viral. You could put it on YouTube later. It could be like the Slender Man, basically. Think about it. Yeah, it would look real, and it would be told like a Snapchat story. I'm surprised no one has jumped on anything like that because we have a million people trying to do that on YouTube. But Snapchat just seems perfect for that.
The amount of planning that would take, and I don't mean this in a bad way. So if anybody's trying to be big on Snapchat, I'm not putting you down. It's just a different. Snapchat right now is used for such a different kind of expression. Like nobody's thinking long-term story.
More people are on Snapchat right now.
I agree.
Than any other social media app.
Yeah. No. Oh no. I get it. You don't have to sell me on it.
Yeah. But no. The advertising alone in that.
Yeah.
What did I read? It says Snapchat's advertising revenue likely to slow this year. The photo sharing app is set to make $774 million.
Good God.
Yeah, the advertising is because think about if you got a million eyes on one thing. Think about how much money someone like, I don't know, Khloe Kardashian or someone makes on that. If you got enough people to advertise for this thing, and you had people join that Snapchat and watch it, I'm shocked that Hollywood hasn't attempted to do it. People with actual money, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean. You need people with not money to do something crazy like this.
That's true.
That's the thing. People with money are not going to do this. What they're going to do is shoot a movie and then try to figure out a way to make it look like it was done on Snapchat.
Right.
That's the problem. That's how Hollywood, quote big air quotes, Hollywood would do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's part of why I liked what was it?
Well,
Unfriended.
well, yes. Okay. So, is that the movie where it was shot like with like webcams and stuff?
Like it was just that was not because Friend Request was one that was like that, but it was more traditional. Unfriended was just like the screen capture, like you're watching the screen of this one person's laptop.
Okay. Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it was basically just a screen recording.
You know what would fit perfect with this kind of format?
What you got?
If you had like an anthology type series that was like creepy pasta from the internet,
Now you're talking.
and it was just short clips, maybe like 30-second clips or whatever, and there was maybe 10 or 12 of them for each one of them, and each one of them were this weird, completely different people and different like internet, whatever. Like they're going down into a basement and stuff like that. Really short experiences, but it would be freaky. And when it went up, people would freak out and like post it on forums and stuff like that. Something like I'm just like that whole instance, the beginning of it, when the kid is talking to the clown. Imagine that sequence told with like 30 Snapchats or less than that, 20 Snapchats, and you could do that, literally just put a clown in a in a sewer and just shoot that real fast of a kid hearing something and snapping it, and suddenly he sees a clown in a sewer and he's freaking out, and you don't even have to have like CGI or whatever. You can just make it just intimidating and creepy,
Yeah.
and cut out at the right point in time. I think that would be great, because that's how not our generation necessarily, but maybe the younger generation, that's how they consume everything right now.
That's true.
They're looking at Instagram stories, they're looking at Snapchat. I mean, look at Facebook and Instagram. They saw what Snapchat were doing, and they were like, "Wait, we got to do that too," immediately, because more and more people are just trying to consume as fast as possible, and I feel like I have one foot in that boat as well, because I'm on YouTube. I'm rather sit and watch Netflix. I'm like I just mentioned earlier, it's like I have Movie Pass, but oh man, do I want to go there when I have all of this other stuff at the house I could watch? I'm kind of in that boat as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think that would be really interesting.
It's interesting because we've got Slender Man comes out in May. And
Okay.
I keep thinking that after that kind of blew up, they're talking about creepypastas, there was a YouTube channel that had like 2-minute videos.
That was Slenderman.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. Like that, if they had just been a little bit later and done that on Snapchat instead.
Exactly.
Be that's it. That's how something like that. And I'm with you. Every story, and do one a week or whatever it takes, however long the story's going to be from all these different angles, each story is a new story.
Yep.
It's a damn good idea.
Yeah, that would be great. I just Googled creepypasta, and apparently Sci-Fi is doing a creepypasta show called Channel Zero.
Yeah. They've done a season, haven't they?
Yeah, Candle Cove 2016, which sounds like a late night HBO series that I used to watch.
Yeah.
When I was a kid. But No End House 2017.
That's the one that I've heard a bunch about.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I guess each season it seems like it's an anthology where it's just a new story.
Well, sometimes you can't tell one continuous story.
Well, yeah, no, I love that. I'm totally into the American Horror Story type of storytelling.
Yeah.
I'm totally for that. I'm even for like, dude, Black Mirror is blowing up. I have friends that are like, and I've been telling them for years, like, go watch this. And now all of a sudden they're like, hey, I heard it's pretty good. And I'm like, I have been drilling this into you. I have told you about this, and you just scoffed at me. No, I'm just kidding. They were like, oh, that's cool, but you knew like they're not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
and now I'm like drawing out lists. Like, here's the order you should see them in. Um, the one thing I tell them, and I'll tell anybody, is that Black Mirror, you can jump around it's like a mini it's they treat each season like a film festival where they get together and they have all their different stories and they throw them out there. Have you seen the new season?
I no.
The new season, there's an episode in there, and all I'll say is that it's very Star Trek related.
I've seen like pictures from that.
Yes.
Like I've seen the uniforms and everything, and it was the same. It was that reaction of like, oh, they did like a Star Trek kind of one. Okay.
Yes, and it's not what you think.
I'm sure it's not.
And it's so fucking cool. The way they lead you into that show, and they lead you with characters, they make you want to think certain things, and oh man, it is so good. I watched it and I'm like, I don't even know if I should watch any more this season because I don't know how it's going to top that one. Because it was that good. Like, you need to go watch that show after the show, man. It is so good. I heard a lot of the other ones are great. I heard this whole season is probably the strongest because it has so many good ones.
Nice.
Because there's some seasons where they're duds. And that's what I was telling my buddies. I was like, hey, because now in one of my group chats, they're all like, one person watches it, the other person watches it, they're all raving about it, so now they believe everybody. They don't believe Adam when he's the sole person going, hey, you guys should watch this. They're like, he's sci-fi, what is he doing? But yeah, and I'll tell them, some of them are stronger than others.
Sure.
But then again, some of them really liked ones that I didn't think were that good. Like the first episode with the pig, I didn't think was that interesting. Have you seen that one?
No.
Oh, have you seen any of them?
No.
Jesus, Logan,
dude, here's
you're
the thing.
one of them. You're one of them.
I'm not one of them because I never doubted you.
You're right.
I have no time.
Oh, you're right. You go, man. This is so up your alley.
I know. I've got
this is the best science fiction on television, hands down, and it would beat most movies that you would go and see.
Well, because they're feature length episodes, right? They're an hour and a half, something like that each one.
Yeah, some of them are like 2 hours.
Yeah.
They treat it like a movie. Usually an hour and a half. Just watch it. It's one of those things where you're like, okay, I just watch one episode, and that's all you got to do. My favorite is the third episode of the first season, just because of the directions it takes you in. The Star Trek one from the new season. Oh, if you just watch one of them, watch that one as well. Like that one is, it's just, and I don't want to spoil anything. Some of them are a lot slower than others, but I just love their twists on science fiction, and it does it right because it could be so bad. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of shows to come out in the next few years. I'm sure
everybody's got Black Mirror-itis. Like,
everyone's going to try.
Yeah, how can we make our own kind of knockoff kind of deal? Oh, yeah.
And in a few years, it's going to be hard to, like, wade through that, like, bad science fiction.
Yeah.
Where this stuff it's interesting, and it makes you think, and it makes you just like, oh, wow, yeah, if that existed, that could go terribly wrong. But yeah, so yeah, man, definitely try and check a few of them out. All my friends are now talking about it, so I'm like, yep, that's cool.
Nice.
But yeah, all right, where were we?
We'd made it to September 14th.
There we go.
Alpha, which finally, I had seen this poster at the theater I'm working at for months. And I was like, what is this movie? And I had never looked it up. There had never been anything about it. And then there's the trailer before Star Wars.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
I don't refresh my memory.
This is the caveman who makes the wolf a friend.
Okay, yeah, I remember seeing that.
And then where are we here? The 20th. Oh my God, they're doing another Johnny English movie. Why?
I don't have the same list as you. I have September 24th, The Darkest Minds, Fighting with My Family, which is the Page movie.
I have The Darkest Minds on the 14th.
Yes, I have that too. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, no, I said 20. I was on the 20th.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, all right.
But Fighting with My Family, I have here on Movie Insider for the 14th. That's the Page movie.
Oh, that's okay. That's what that is. Okay, because I was looking at that and I was like, I feel like I remember this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what that one is. Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
That'll be neat. Nobody will go see that, but it'll be good.
We'll go see it.
Yeah, we'll go see it. That's
Yeah.
that's one that's gonna do decently on digital.
Yes, and I think they're going to put The Rock all over that.
Oh
Like, The
yeah.
Rock produced, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and in it. Like I mean, he is in it too.
Oh, he is in it?
Yeah.
What is he doing in it?
What the hell? I don't playing somebody else apparently.
He doesn't have. Yeah, I was gonna say, when does he enter her life? Except for the point where he's like, "Hey, we're gonna make a movie about you."
Yeah. Who does?
I guess they've run into each other at some point at Raw.
Sure. Oh no, he plays himself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense. I'm sure that, like, when she enters the WWE, he's probably there, like, "Hey, what do you want me to do for WrestleMania?" kind of deal.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the year I show up and light my name on fire.
Yeah, dude, any movie that has any sort of ties to the WWE, I'm into. I want to see a Vince McMahon movie. I want to see Eric Bischoff movie. I want to see a Vince McMahon Sr. movie.
Did you hear who else is rumored to be at Raw 25 next week?
Well, he's not rumored. He's reportedly there.
Who?
Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, I didn't know it was confirmed.
Oh, same with Chris Jericho. Which is crazy, because he's all New Japan right now.
And he's working both. Well, we had heard there had been rumors that New Japan was maybe slowly reaching out to WWE.
What if, and hear me out.
I know where you're going, and I want to hear it.
Yeah, what if some of the New Japan stars were in the Royal Rumble?
Oh, that would be insane.
That would be absolutely insane. If they just did a contract for one night, just as a surprise, and like, New Japan would totally be down for that, because that would get their eye. People would go, "Who is that?"
It would build, their U.S. presence. It started. Absolutely. I mean, we saw how big their Long Beach stuff was last year,
right?
And
right.
they're building a bigger show this year. But I don't, it's only gonna help.
It would only help them, and WWE would be such a huge, iconic moment where they were like one of the first times they were on there. Like, imagine like one of their champions on it with a belt.
Well,
that would be insane.
Here's an odd thing. Mm-hmm. Just imagine, here's Raw 25, and standing there in the ring after a victory is Balor Club. There's
right.
There's Finn and Gallows and Anderson, and out through the crowd comes Kenny and the Young Bucks. The current Bullet Club. That place, they would burn it down.
Oh yeah.
They would.
That would never happen though.
I know, but like
Well, the Young Bucks, are they in New Japan, or are they in
they're okay.
Ring of Honor?
They're in Ring of Honor. They have the opposite arrangement that Omega has. They're primarily Ring of Honor and work with New Japan. He's primarily New Japan and works with Ring of Honor.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's how that works out.
Yeah. I don't know. Options and opportunities. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
That's good.
That would be crazy.
God, yeah, and that's Monday, when we're gonna find out who the Undertaker's gonna face at WrestleMania in his "I'm Not Dead Yet" match.
Oh, I heard rumors that it might be Sting. Most people think it's Cena.
It won't be. Sting can't wrestle anymore.
Well, no, that's not true. He never was.
It is.
From what I understand, in interviews that he's done, he hasn't done his surgery. He said he would do once he does his surgery, he'd be done. He said.
Yeah.
Well, the rumors that I read was that, one of them was that Sting would challenge him at Raw 25, because he would be an iconic person as well that came back. They would do their match in Elimination Chamber, and something would happen. I'm sorry, they would do their match at it's not Elimination Chamber or Royal Rumble. One of them.
Fastlane, I think.
Yeah,
No. Damn, I forget.
one of those pay-per-views, and then it would end, and then it would lead to Taker taking on Cena at WrestleMania.
I would rather them just either.
I don't think they do that.
No, I would really just rather them either come out and do one or the other. I'm okay with a Cena Taker match because that would be awesome. It would be big. In a perfect world, nothing would happen.
Right. No, Undertaker would stay dead. He's down in the citrus bowl underneath the ground.
Yeah.
And that's it. And he's happy, and he's having his own life in the underworld.
It could go either way. It could be it would be Elimination Chamber, actually.
Yeah. That's what I read, is that he would do basically two big matches. He'd go against Sting, because that's a match that they both wanted, and then he would go against Cena, which would be his final match.
I could understand him and Cena because it is a big headline match, and there's some interesting implications just in the idea of that's how Cena started his career, and there's a great story to be built up about, for the Undertaker's last match, he's going against this kid who he was the first one to show. He was the first one kind of to shake his hand in the locker room and say, I think you've got it. And look at everything Cena's accomplished. And it could also be a cherry on top of his cake. There's a lot of story to tell there. I like the idea of Taker Sting because that's a match that has no real connection to anything other than here's the big spooky dude from WWE and here's the big spooky dude from WCW, and that's a match that doesn't need story.
Right, they're arguably the two most historic characters on each show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that sells itself right there. I mean, that's all you need. Taker Cena sells itself too, but there are story elements they'd have to weave in and just to make it like, here's why this is a gigantic deal. I mean, it doesn't take a ton of work. But
yeah, Sting would just stare at the Undertaker, and the Undertaker would stare at Sting, and we all know it's on. That's it. It's a match happening.
That's it.
They have no words. They don't need words.
No, I would rather have that and just have that at Mania and let that, because that's where both men go out.
Yeah.
So the result kind of doesn't matter.
Right.
And it's I'm okay. I'm good with that because it would just be, these two are done after this.
Right.
Like that's the absolute.
Oh, believe me, I feel burned.
Yeah.
I loved WrestleMania, but I also liked thinking that I saw Undertaker's last match.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe you did.
Yeah, but I'm not upset that it's it's whatever. I'm gonna be watching it like everyone else, but this time I'm gonna be from the comfort of my lazy boy this time and not in the stand. Even though that you can't. Oh man, that was just such a cool moment.
Yeah, I mean that really did just have to be amazing to have been there.
Being there and hearing the sound of his music is so different in a giant citrus bowl compared to watching it on TV because and then the fog, and then it was a real show.
And then they set the stage on fire.
Yeah, it was dope. That and the Hardy Boys. And the Hardy Boys, that was the biggest pop.
That pop must have been unbelievable. Just hearing it at home, I thought, oh my God, does anybody have a voice left after this?
Oh, yeah. And then Jeff Hardy's dancing on the stage, and you can't tell what he's doing, but you tell his arms are moving up and down, and it was just so good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. But yeah, so, this year's... I think they are so stacked. They have more talent than ever right now.
And that's kind of a problem.
I don't know, man. I want WrestleMania to be all day. I want to wake up and it'd be 10 a.m. and they're like, all right, we're starting the show.
Look, man, it practically is already.
Right. Well, it begs the question, do you think that the shows need a new title? Each show could use a different title. Like we have the U.S. champ. You think they could bring back they already have the U.K. champ, so that's one of them. It'd be cool to see him, actually on the shows sometimes.
I tell you what, Pete Dunne has been doing journeyman work everywhere
Oh yeah,
else. He was in.
for sure.
I don't remember the name of the promotion, but it was Pete Dunne against I can hear people screaming at me against was it Zach? No, it was I don't know. I don't remember, but it was somebody who was a New Japan champ and somebody who was TNA champ.
Yeah,
Was
what's his name? He just left the W.
Aries.
The
Yeah, that's right. It
WWE.
was Austin Aries. It was Pete Dunne,
Yeah.
Austin Aries, and
Well,
Will Ospreay, I think.
did you see what happened with Impact Wrestling? They're going to be on Twitch now.
Yeah, okay. I don't care about Impact Wrestling.
They're streaming content 24/7
Okay, sure.
on Twitch. I think that's kind of cool. I don't know if you have to pay for it or not.
I don't know. I don't have any plan on checking it out. Really.
Yeah, me either.
Um,
But
especially
you're right. He's been going around.
Pete's been busted, and he and Tyler Bate had two of the best matches of all time last year. Like, it was
Yeah.
insane. But uh, I don't know. Anyway, you were talking about shows having different titles.
Yeah, like, do you think they should add a title or two because there's so many? Well, first of all, we all know Brock Lesnar needs to lose so that we actually see the championship.
Yeah, well,
Think
be careful what you wish for, because you know who you're gonna get.
I don't care. Have Roman do it. At least we see the guy.
Ugh.
I know people give him heat, but he puts in work every week.
I look. Roman can wrestle. I can't take that away from him, and I never have. But he is the most bland, boring character,
bland.
and
He's bland.
and it's not his fault. You could see
Right.
it the night after WrestleMania. You saw him like pointing to his hand after like 5 minutes of the chanting, like he's
Right.
actually saying, "I've got them in the palm of my hand." If they would let Roman do, if they gave him the kind of creative freedom that like the Bar has, I would love to see what would happen.
Yeah,
But
make him a bad guy and put him in the club. Like that's all you got to do.
God.
I know people would hate that,
Oh,
but seeing him as a dick would actually be kind of cool.
It
And
would.
not like how he is now, but like true turn.
yeah.
Turn would be awesome. I think he's dude, he puts in work. Even though now apparently, did you see the rumor that he got busted? He's something to do with he was involved with a steroid sting.
Oh God, again?
Yeah, he was involved in a Miami steroid sting where his name. I'll send it to you after the show. I don't have it in front of me, but his name is somehow in a deposition, and his name was involved in the trial. He was sold steroids. His name and a few others. Marky Mark was named as well.
Well, but okay. So then, how long ago was this?
This was recent. It seems.
Okay, here we go. Former gym owner implicated Roman Reigns in the steroid distribution ring that resulted in an investigation by the DEA.
Yes.
Also named two other celebrities, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, an accused dealer claims Roman Reigns was a customer.
Yes. February 2017. Was probably pretty good. Spin around this.
And you heard about the Usos, right? Jey Uso
Oh no, Jay! What did you do?
got a DUI
Oh, Jay! Damn it!
last night. He was on tonight's show too,
No.
or he was on Tuesday's show.
Oh, Jay!
So I'm sure they're probably gonna take the titles from him.
Yeah, damn it!
But it might be a happy Rusev Day.
I'm begging. I am begging for Happy Rusev Day. It is every day is Rusev Day. Look,
I know.
there's something I'm talking about. That is a stupid gimmick. It is a dumb, single, pointless gimmick, and he took that and he made it magic.
Absolutely.
He made it absolute magic, and that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Let these guys, if you're gonna stick them with an idea, even a crappy one like every day's Rusev Day, okay, that's just lame. Give them some freedom to just find something interesting, and by God, the ones who can will, and they will make it. Him and Aiden English was not a partnership I would have ever, and pardon me, ever
Right.
imagined.
Right.
But it works.
It did.
Absolutely works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And oh man, yeah, I've gotta watch Smack. I didn't catch SmackDown. So I gotta.
They moved the U.S. title match to tonight. Essentially, they had the two matches, and then the winner of those two matches fought, and the champion was crowned tonight.
Nice. Okay, so I've got that to look forward to. Very cool.
They moved it from because they were going to do it at the Royal Rumble, but the show became too bloated now that there's two Rumbles in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll close with the men or the women's?
It'll be
match?
the men's Rumble. It'll always be the men's Rumble, except for when it's the WWE title.
I don't know. I think it'd be cool if they ended with the women's.
I would love for it to be the women's, but the women's, and the reason it won't be is because the women's Rumble will not. The winner of that will not be in the main event at WrestleMania. The idea,
right? The co-main event.
Yeah, there's one main event. I'm sorry. It's one of the things I've always agreed with CM Punk on. There's one main event. There's not like, oh, we have these co-main events. No. You have one. You have one main event.
Right, I agree.
But there's the idea.
Maybe they open up with the show because it could be a really cool thing to open up with.
Yeah,
I think
that's the thing. People give a lot of crap to the show opener, and it was
no.
I forget if it was Rick. It might have been Flair who said the two best slots on a card are the first match and the last.
Oh, okay.
And that's because the last one is your closer. That's your main event. But the first one, you have the responsibility of hooking in an audience.
Right.
Like the onus is on you to set the tone for the show. Mm-hmm. So if they opened with the Women's Rumble, I'd be all right with that.
I heard on the show that I listened to called Going in Raw, they were talking. I don't know if you've ever heard the podcast. Really good, guys. They were talking about would it be cool if both Charlotte was in a high chair on one side and Alexa was in a high chair on the other, and they both just watched?
I'd be all right with that.
I was like, that would be awesome. The goddess and the queen just staring down and watching them and fight over the crown and. I don't know. I thought that would be cool. So, we'll see. What's your predictions? Who do you think's going to win for the women and the men's? Well, let me say this: who do you want to win, and who do you think's going to win?
Let me do the men's because I've had a lot of time to think about this.
Okay.
Roman is going to win so that he can face Brock, or they're going to have to do if somebody from SmackDown wins, which is who I want to win. Then they'll have a tournament on Raw or something, and that's how Roman will get his shot.
Right.
It's either going to be Roman or somebody from SmackDown, and there's only one from SmackDown who I want to see, and that's Knock. Because that means we get AJ and Nakamura at WrestleMania. I mean that's money. That's right. That prints, but that is a license to print money.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. I would want Nakamura to win. And that way we wouldn't see Roman. We all know Roman's going to do Brock, fight Rock and the Brock, and that's fine. The Brock, what am I talking about?
The Brock.
The Brock. That's pretty much what his role is right now. He just shows up whenever he wants. I can't wait for that to be done. I'm so over that because, yes, it makes the Intercontinental Championship good, but with Roman having it and he just slaps it over his shoulder, it's just so dumb.
I hate the way he carries a title. I hate it.
It's so dumb.
It makes it look like an afterthought. Oh, I just got to drag this thing around with me.
Yes. Ugh. Now the wild card would, of course, be Finn Balor or Braun Strowman, which they won't do.
Well, Braun won't be in the Rumble match because he's in the championship match.
That doesn't matter. So was Roman last year.
Yeah, well,
No, I know. But I would love Braun's music to hit and him come in and just tear everyone out. Because honestly, if you think about it, on paper, if you don't know the behind the scenes that everyone loves Roman, this has been Braun's year.
Oh man, has it ever?
He is the most organic character and person on the show, and they are pushing him as if you would think he was on the road to become the champion because he makes the show. This entire last episode where he just spent the whole show tearing everything apart and eating cake and telling people to catch his hands. It is the most entertaining thing I've seen in a long time, and I am shocked that it's not going to be him versus Brock at WrestleMania.
If anybody, when Strowman had debuted, had said in a couple years that guy is going to be the most entertaining thing you've ever seen, I would have had you committed. I would have tied you up, thrown you in my trunk, and driven you to wherever it is you needed to go immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I mocked him. You know, they said the way he looked, they was like, oh, he looks like a big version of that guy on Game of Thrones, the fat guy or whatever. And it's like
he's Sam. He's like if Sam got buff, like.
Right, but he shaved the side of his head, which was the best thing he could have done with that. And he really, the way he knows how to talk, he's fast and agile for a big guy. The stunts that he does is some of the best.
They're amazing,
you know what I mean?
because they're saying, look, this guy's a monster. All right, well then what's he going to do? Well, he's going to flip an ambulance. Okay.
If you think about it, he's the Stone Cold of this generation, where he is making these crazy moments backstage. Like what Stone Cold did with the beer truck and the gun and everything else. He's doing all those things.
Yeah, I mean, my God, he pulled down the scaffolding last week.
Pulled down the scaffolding.
That was such a weird, like the idea of like, hey, there's a grappling hook here. Yeah. Like that was a weird moment, but it was completely dwarfed by the idea of like, oh my God, he just pulled that whole freaking thing down.
I would have loved if he just screamed, "I'm Batman." Just pulled it down.
And my hat is off to Paul Heyman during that skit.
Yeah.
Because he was magnificent on the sideline, standing back, just screaming, just Strowman, no. But because you could hear him above everyone else. And Paul will sell a storyline beat like anything.
Yeah.
It's magic. And Braun, it should be Braun Brock at Mania.
Yeah.
It absolutely should be. It won't be, but it should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm just
the monster versus the beast. That's how it should. Like if they just didn't have their hard on for Roman, it would be that.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what Triple H would book. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Given
the opportunity.
I absolutely agree. Because he, love him or hate him, he's got a better eye for the business because he didn't come up in it 60 years ago.
Right.
Like there's, I just.
And Brock is his baby too, because Braun, because Braun was in NXT as well.
Yeah.
So, man, that's how I would do it. Who knows, man? Now with all these new news headlines that Roman Reigns is tied to steroids, maybe that's not the guy you put in the ring at WrestleMania versus Brock.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows what? Because Vince is known to make last minute decisions. All of this hit today. It's all over the headlines that Roman is tied into this.
Yeah.
This thing. So real or not, it's not good for you, especially when you went to. Didn't he go to trial? Didn't he go to court and everything for steroids not too long ago?
No, he was suspended for a wellness violation.
No, I'm talking. Well, what. I was talking about Vince McMahon. He was in court for steroid use and everything.
Oh, dude, that was in the 80s.
Right, but still, it is a black eye in your legacy.
Yeah, and so that the S word is kind of like an instant.
So your top wrestler tied into that.
Yeah.
Let's maybe put him on the back burner for just a moment while we figure that out. Who knows? I'm just saying that might.
Yeah.
That might be what happens. And who knows? The wellness policy. Did we know what it was for?
I think it was because it was he and Eva Marie and a couple others were around the same time, and the word about really all of those was that it was basically a paperwork issue, that they hadn't properly reported that they had changed prescriptions or something. That's why
hers was. I remember her talking about that on Total Divas, but I don't think he said anything about his. I think it's always been like nothing was officially said, just that he failed it or that he. didn't abide by it or whatever.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but I thought his was at least reported to have been the same
Oh, okay.
kind of thing. Now, I may be wrong, but
I mean, the guy looks like he does steroids. But who
well,
knows?
look, but look at The Rock.
The Rock definitely does steroids. He doesn't have anyone telling him he can't.
I mean, yeah, that's true, I guess.
He's on some stuff that may be on the line of steroids, but he's on something that makes the Rock look like he ate the professional wrestler Rock. They don't even look the same. I was watching the Jumanji movie, and I'm thinking to myself, he does not look like anything that he did when he was a wrestler. When he had his hair, he was skinnier. It just was very different. He looks like, I don't know, like he looks ridiculously jacked still for his age.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know. Those Samoans, that whole family is jacked. So
yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know. Who knows? In the perfect world, who knows? Maybe Vince McMahon has a change of heart, and he puts Braun because he's seeing how good he's doing. That to me would make an awesome WrestleMania match. That would be a realistic big guy versus Munster. Them destroy. Literally, I would want them to destroy the whole ring. By the end of WrestleMania, I would want there to be no ring, nothing, and just everything be destroyed.
Absolutely, literally bring the house down, pretty much.
Yes, absolutely.
I would be all for that. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then him, I would want Braun, of course, to walk out the champion. But we're gonna get Roman. Roman's gonna win it, and then we're gonna see a year of the Roman Empire. Because that's what burns me about Braun is that they build him up so much, and then they throw him in a dumpster. And then he gets brought back, and he gets built so much back up, and then they throw him in who knows what next, a cement truck or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But anyway, where were we?
We were still in September.
All right.
Yeah, September 20th, Johnny English 3, because we need another one of those.
Jeez.
Why? I didn't know this was still a thing. The 21st of September, Robin Hood.
Okay.
They went ahead and they did do the remake. Okay.
All right.
The next Robin Hood, I guess. I don't know.
What about this Goosebumps Horrorland?
I didn't know about that until a couple weeks ago, I think. I don't even see it on here. Where the hell?
Well, if you want to know anything about Goosebumps Horrorland, you can watch season 3, episode 8 of the Goosebumps TV show. All we know that it's going to have Jack Black in it again.
Yeah.
Because why not? I hope he plays a teenage girl in this one.
I'm telling you what, man. I called it from the beginning, like, this was definitely the role for him.
Yeah.
If you were going to say what would be your ideal Jack Black role, it would be something akin to, a teenage Instagram queen stuck in Jack Black's body.
Yeah.
And all of the... I'm sorry. Those were some of the funny... Like, I've never heard funnier dick jokes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was hilarious.
He was describing it and so surprised and what he would do with it, because it's funny if that happened, if some girl Freaky Friday, that would be her thoughts of that kind of girl. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
It wasn't like it was genuine curiosity, just like oh, this is so much easier.
Yeah. It wasn't like gross jokes or anything like that. It was like straight up like, oh my god, just like, oh, look what I can do. Like, this is easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a situation there.
Right.
These things are amazing.
Right. You don't look at it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. Oh,
yeah,
so good. September 28th, Smallfoot.
Oh, what's that?
It's where there's a tribe of Bigfoot people and they tell ghost stories about regular sized people.
Oh wow.
It's animated, it's cute. I'm in.
Okay.
I hope I didn't know they had Danny DeVito in this. I hope Danny DeVito plays the tallest Bigfoot.
No, that would be funny.
I'm serious. Like, I don't want to see like dwarf Bigfoot for Danny DeVito. I want him to be like the old, like kind of like wise man, 12-foot tall Bigfoot. Like,
Yeah, he's Dorgle, big one of the Bigfoot people.
okay. Um, and then that's really all that I've heard of for September. I don't know anything about the kid who would be king.
Yep.
I don't know anything about Boy Erased.
One movie that has really gotten on my radar recently is on October 5th, Venom.
Venom. Yeah, there's. I
Did
love
you see
how.
the news?
Yeah, that there just might be a Tom Holland cameo.
Yes.
So that's because I think you kind of have to at some point.
Yep. And they're gonna have like all the symbiotes on it too. Like they showed the one for Carnage and what's his face? The guy who died in spoiler alerts, Rogue One. They all died.
That's
but
all
the
of them.
one
Yeah.
Brody, the one who blew himself up in the
Riz Ahmed.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's playing Carnage. Or the symbiote is taking him over, and then it's the Carnage symbiote.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes.
I really like that.
Oh yeah. So, that would be cool. It showed. I saw a video of Tom Hardy. He was like video casting to like Brazil Comic Con, and the whole place was going crazy. And I'm way more interested in knowing that they're gonna have all the symbiotes or whatever. It's gonna have Carnage. So, not the Cassidy guy, but Casey Cassidy or whatever. But the
Cletus Cassidy.
Cletus. Sorry.
Well, it could still be Cletus Cassidy. He could
true.
He could just not be white. Like that.
No, that's true. Well, I mean, I always thought Cletus Cassidy like the serial killer in New York City, but hey, that makes sense. He's Brock. He's Eddie Brock, and he's somehow in space. So, who knows? But yeah, so it's gonna have all of those characters, and the idea of Spider-Man being in it, probably I assume at the end, when the Venom suit lands on Earth or whatever. Yeah, as long as they tie it in a little bit, that's all I care about, really.
Yeah.
It's gonna make it, and that sucks. Like I shouldn't think like that, but I can't help it because we've invested in that kind of, like we're invested in that already. It's dumb to not do it.
Right.
What is A Star Is Born?
I don't know.
All right, there we go. Bradley Cooper.
Didn't we already? Oh no! Is this a theatrical release for the Lady Gaga movie?
Dave Chappelle. I don't see Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, I know what this is. It's another. Oh, I knew why this sounded familiar. It was a Judy Garland movie, and then it was a Barbra Streisand movie, and now it's a Lady Gaga movie.
Okay.
Oh god, they've remade this thing 3 times now. Jeez.
Oh wow. All right.
That's what this is. Okay.
I thought it was Superstar, the sequel.
No.
Superstar.
Oh no, please God no.
Hellfest, October 12th.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what that is. Okay. Halloween Night Fun Turns Deadly in America's premier theme park. When an actual costume killer begins slaying unsuspecting. That is my biggest fear.
When somebody in a crowd of costumed people, there is actually a costumed psychopath.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why are they making that movie and giving people thoughts? Because when I had that thought, I thought, well,
can't go to Halloween Horror Nights anymore.
Yeah, I was like, well, I better not tell people that because, but that's always been a fear of mine. Is like, there's so many people here dressed up, and you can easily blend into being one of the people that are work for the. Oh, that's scary.
And then how long does it take? You got stabbed and now you're bleeding out. Wow, these effects are really real.
Oh yeah, no one would believe it. Because it's all street acting anyway, where they're literally running around and acting like they're killing people. And then, well, who was it? Oh, a guy in a Freddy mask. Oh, okay, or you look like a zombie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that
narrows it down. Yeah.
Oh man, bad thoughts. You could totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl in the Spider's Web. Don't know what that is.
I don't even see that on here. Oh, that's 19th. Okay.
Yeah.
And Halloween. Halloween on the 19th.
There we go. We got Halloween.
I'm excited for that because it's
Yep.
just I really love how they're like there was the first Halloween and then there's this one. There's
Yeah.
nothing else. Like that's fine. They made them. They don't count as far as we're concerned. I'm good with that. I'm totally good with that.
Oh yeah.
And Mowgli. They're making a Mowgli movie? Why are they making a Mowgli movie?
I don't know. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, that's why.
Raised by a wolf pack in the jungle of India, as he learns the often harsh rules of the jungle. So is this going to be by... This isn't by Disney.
No, no, it's Warner Brothers.
Why would they do this?
Because I don't know, man. I
don't need another Jungle Book movie that's not about the Jungle Book.
Yeah, exactly.
So stupid. All right, moving on. Nothing really else for October.
No, what's Overlord?
I don't know.
I don't even know what this is.
Mm-hmm. On the eve of D-Day, a group of American paratroopers are dropped behind enemy lines to carry out a mission critical of invasion success. But as they approach their target, they begin to review... Oh, hold on, it went away. Realize there is more going on in the Nazi-occupied village than a simple military operation. So I don't know if there's like a sci-fi twist or what.
Horror, it looks like.
Or, okay, so maybe there's zombies.
Great, haunted Nazi-occupied French village. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Sounds like a video game.
Nothing really coming out at the beginning of November. At all. Nothing worth seeing. Just,
Yeah.
No, I'm interested in Dark Phoenix because it is different. They're like, we're going to go to space and do this story kind of right. Okay. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'll see it.
I think this will be the last X-Men movie they do.
Yeah, this will be the last of this group.
Yeah.
Everything else, even New Mutants will... I don't even think it's going to be like a reboot of the franchise. I think it's just going to be its own thing.
Yeah.
And then it'll probably be done. It'll be like, all right, now we're going to start over.
Right, that was cool.
And I'm all right with that.
Yeah, totally. And they could always blend that into whatever the new universe is because they're all different characters. We haven't seen any of them before, I don't think. And it's its own little story.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, Dark Phoenix, that'd be cool. It'd be cool to kind of see the end of this Marvel Fox universe.
Yeah.
And see what they do with that, especially because it's in space. That's cool. The Nutcracker movie in the Four Realms comes out as well.
I'll tell you what, Disney is putting so much behind this. This is their next Alice in Wonderland.
I don't get it.
That's what they've done with this is they're like, hey, remember when we made a live action Alice in Wonderland?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this looks like. It looks like the next one of those.
No, I agree.
And it's gonna tank, and they're gonna go, well, what happened? Well, people went and saw the Alice in Wonderland sequel and said, oh my God, please don't ever do this again. That's what happened.
Right. Dr. Seuss, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Oh, that's right. There's a new animated Grinch movie.
Yeah.
Starring Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yep. But I think he's going to be like a younger Grinch.
Yeah. And that movie comes out a week before Benedict Cumberbatch... Or no, that's right. It's Eddie Redmayne in the other movie. Never mind. I don't care. British guys. They're all the same to me.
Holmes and Watson.
Yes.
Will Ferrell and John Cena. Not John Cena.
I would go see the hell out of that movie. Oh, no, wait. They did. It was called Daddy's Home 2, and nobody liked it.
Oh, man. No, I didn't see that.
No, don't waste your time.
No.
Holmes and Watson has such a bizarre cast.
Yeah, I mean, Will Ferrell as Sherlock Holmes, I'm in. You already got me.
John C. Reilly.
That's Watson. That's perfect. Let's do it.
Rebecca Hall, Ralph Fiennes, Hugh Laurie. What?
Yeah,
what
I'm in. You got me.
Look, if you've got, I mean,
that's how you get me to see another Sherlock Holmes movie.
Yeah, I guess.
You make it funny and ridiculous, and it's Ethan Cohen. That's the director and writer.
Ethan Cohen, yeah.
Yeah. So he did Get Hard and a lot of those Tropic Thunder, Idiocracy.
I'm down for any. If you're like from the whatever of Tropic Thunder, I'm gonna give you a shot.
Right, exactly.
If it, you know, I don't care if it's from the line producer of Tropic Thunder. All right, I'm in. Screw it.
Right, right. Oh man, Robert Downey Jr. and Jack Black killed those
They
roles.
did, man. They
Oh,
totally
they were
did.
so good. Um, we got Creed 2 on. Wait, what's Windows on the 6th on November? Oh no, I've skipped. I'm sorry.
A little bit. Well, but you're on the right week, but you skipped around a little. Uh,
Okay.
well,
Let's see here.
that's interesting. What is Windows?
I don't know. Is it a movie about Bill Gates?
Not with this cast.
Oh, four women who team up to complete a heist. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
Viola Davis as Bill Gates.
Look, I'll tell you what. You joke, but that would make a hell of a movie.
That would I would be seeing that day one.
I would absolutely go see that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting cast. Viola Davis, Andre Holland, Michelle Rodriguez. I'm in.
Liam Neeson.
And Liam Neeson, Colin Farrell, Robert Duvall. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, the big one for that week. You know. Oh, wait a minute. There's two that week.
Yep.
Why?
Ralph Breaks the Internet.
No, that's a week after.
Oh.
That's
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts and Creed 2.
Yep.
Wow, damn. I feel bad for Creed 2 because it's going to get killed. Just like Creed did.
Yep. Oh, jeez.
Look, man, did you see they cast a Romanian boxer to play Ivan Drago's son?
No.
Yeah, I got his name here. It's, as soon as I can pull this up, it's not on these notes. There it is. Florian Muntino, which I know I'm screwing up that name.
Do you think the line will be said in the movie, if he dies, he dies?
Oh, God, I hope not.
What if he says, if he lives, he lives? Just kidding.
You know, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, you know, Stallone did write the script, so...
So is he supposed to be the bad guy in this, or he's training the guy he's fighting?
I don't know if I would imagine they're probably going to set that up as the bad guy, because you know, it's going to be formulaic, but I don't think it's going to be the same old, like, it's not going to be the same as it was in
right.
Rocky IV. It's going to be
it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. What happened? You know what I mean? I hope there's some redemption.
I really think that it's going to be, you know, the son of Creed has appeared, so now the son of Drago challenges him. And,
right.
you know, the press makes a whole deal out of it, and they have their meeting and everything. And I do want there to be the idea of, you know, your dad killed my dad, da-da-da. And, you know, they get angry about it. But in the back of everyone's mind, they're all saying the same thing of, you know, it wasn't this kid's fault, you know?
Right.
And it wasn't really even Drago's fault. It was
right.
the referee's fault. But, you know, let that be... If they do this movie in a way that's a way of saying... we can all be better people and we should all be better people and bury the past. I'm all right with that if they do it, you know, like you said, as like a redemption story of like this, you know, this is in this world, you know, in the world that they've created, boxing it still matters.
Right.
And I hate to say that because it used to matter here, but that's a story for another time. But you know, the idea of, you know, we have this fight, and it's, what does it settle? Well, it's continuing a feud. Well, does it need continuing? Yes, because there has to be, you know, retribution. Was it really retribution, though, or is it just, you know, we are the sons of these great fighters, we have to fight, and let the fight tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be okay with that. If that's the way that they do it, which I believe that they would, because they were good with that with the first Creed. They let the fight tell the story. And if they do that with Creed 2, it's going to be just as awesome.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
I'm just bummed it comes out the same day as Fantastic Beasts, because it is going to get buried. It's absolutely going to get buried.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I agree.
And then, you know, the next week is Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Yeah.
So it's going to stay buried, because it just is.
Mm-hmm.
And that sucks, but...
Yeah. We have let's see here.
What is the Women of Marwen?
The Women of Marwen. I don't see that.
Yeah, I've got it here. Also on the 21st.
Okay.
What is this? Let me see. Fantasy drama directed by Robert Zemeckis,
Okay.
written by Zemeckis and Caroline Thompson. Uh, Based on a documentary called Marwen Call.
Hmm.
American documentary explores the life and work of artist and photographer Mark Hogenkamp, which was about what the hell did he? Man, this is gonna be weird.
Hmm.
That's kind of interesting. Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fall down this rabbit hole. I can't do that while I'm on the show. Basically, what this guy had done, the guy who wrote this photographer had. Okay, this is actually really interesting. Uh, he created his own like scale model of a town, and he put dolls in it as like a form of I guess therapy. And he called the town Marwincole, which was a portmanteau of names of people who lived in it.
Okay.
And a photographer found this guy and documented his story. And now the Women of Marwen is a movie is basically what looks like a dramatic kind of biopic. I don't know. This is actually kind of really interesting. Very
Hmm.
cool. That's kind of what it looks like. Is that it's gonna blend the biopic of it and like a little bit of fantasy of what's going on in the town. So kind of it looks like it might kind of be a little like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty,
Oh,
in that
okay.
it's like, oh, you have real life, but you also have these kind of fantastical elements that are clearly not connected with the actual real life part.
Hmm. Okay.
That could actually be kind of interesting.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then we've made it to December. Uh, with the 14th, we have Mortal Engines, which that trailer was amazing. I didn't know what the hell I was looking at, and then we got to the title, and I was like, oh,
Right. Me either.
okay, I'm down. Yeah, that looked amazing.
Yeah. Totally, man. I had no idea what I was looking at when I saw that either.
Yeah, no, because I know this was a book series. I know from way back, but I didn't know, like, I knew nothing about it. I knew like it was steampunk, but that was it. But I didn't know. I know there are people who saw that trailer and recognized it right off. I'm sure, but
Yeah.
I didn't have a clue. But now I want to go read the book because that just looked awesome.
Yeah. Like it was like New York that ate up something.
London. It was
London.
London.
That's what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
It like ate another city that was trying to get away.
It's like, what the fuck are we? What is this?
Yeah. God, that was really cool looking.
Bizarre. Yeah.
Uh, the 21st is a packed weekend.
Oh yeah.
Big time packed. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Hmm.
Very excited for.
Now I have that. What you said, December 14th, correct?
Well, that was Mortal Engines on the 14th.
Oh, okay. I have Spider-Man for that date. I guess it's wrong.
Yeah, I've got it here for the 21st.
Okay.
I,
Gotcha.
I don't know. It may be doing a. Because I thought this was coming out digitally.
Okay.
I didn't know this was going to be a theatrical release. So,
Oh, okay. You didn't know that?
no,
Oh, yeah, yeah. It looks beautiful.
I
It's honestly some of the best animation I've seen in a very long
it
time.
does. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I love that it's a Lord and Miller production. Like,
Yeah.
that's very cool. Um, yeah, I've got it for December 21st here. Interesting.
Yeah.
But there's
Worries.
that, and then there's Aquaman, which I'll give it a shot. What the hell?
Hmm.
Like,
Of course. Yeah.
because I liked him. I did. I didn't like everything that they did with him and how they kind of shoehorned in the barest minimum of the wrong bits of exposition to shoehorn in.
Yeah.
But I liked what they did with him because it makes sense with his character.
Yeah.
He wasn't particularly likable because he was definitely like ultra bro, but I get why.
Yeah.
It does make sense for his characters.
Right.
So I'm curious to see what they do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was a change that I thought was well done for the film universe. Yeah,
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
And then we've got a movie with an invisible star.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, the Bumblebee movie.
I'm wondering how a smaller Transformer film will do.
It's gonna be.
I'm thinking it will be probably a better Transformer film than a big world spanning blockbuster, like a smaller movie with just a few Autobots and John Cena. I'm curiously optimistic.
It definitely has the chance to be better.
Yes.
What's gonna be interesting is to see how the box office for this weekend shakes out.
Yeah.
What's gonna do better, the Transformers spin-off or the next DC movie?
Oh, that's true.
And I don't know. Did Justice League leave such a bad taste in people's mouths that they don't want to go see any more DC? Are people, do people just go see the main Transformers movies because that's what they are and it's just kind of habit anymore?
Yeah.
Do they look at John Cena and actually think, oh yeah, he could definitely do this? Considering, and think about this, he's not really had a main starring action role.
Yeah.
He had the Marine and he had 12 rounds, but everything else has been little comedic parts.
Yeah.
So he hasn't had the chance to be, he hasn't. This is his. I'm trying to think of a Rock analogy because The Rock had a very similar career path.
Yeah.
And I can't think of like the big, like what was his big breakout action film because it wasn't The Rundown. And
The Rundown was. That was the one where I think people really took him seriously.
Maybe. I think that was the one where he kind of maybe started that road, but but it didn't last, because he did The Rundown and Walking Tall around the same time.
Yeah, it was that was the two where it was like, okay, maybe there's something to this. He's in kind of like a C role. And then Be Cool was weird, Doom was bad, Spy Hunter never went anywhere.
Yeah.
Let's see, where did it go? Get Smart.
Yeah, that didn't work for him.
No. Was it Fast and the Furious? That was the big block. That's when he came out, and he went from skinny rock to rock that will eat you.
Yeah, pretty much. So God, it must have been. Well, this, I don't think Bumblebee, even though it's a car movie, is going to be John Cena's Fast and Furious.
It was when he did, like, in the same year, he did G.I. Joe, Pain and Gain, and Fast and Furious. When he was doing, like, 3 movies that all were relatively big.
Yeah.
Then it was like, oh, we're off to the races. And he was great in He was great in Fast and Furious. He brought that to another level, I thought.
Yeah. I think Bumblebee is going to be more like John Cena's Walking Tall.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's going to be one where you look and you go, oh, okay, he's got some chops, but I don't think it really goes much of anywhere. It's not. Right. This is not going to launch his Hollywood career.
Right.
And then we actually have movies on Christmas this year.
Oh wow.
We've got 2. We've got Bohemian Rhapsody, maybe. Depending on what happens there. But here's the one. Here's your Christmas movie. This is going to blow everything the hell away. Mary Poppins Returns.
Right.
It's going to absolutely destroy. If I'm still working at the theater on Christmas this year, I'm going to hate it a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be worse than it was this year because it's going to be children. It's going
Oh,
to
that's
be
true.
lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. I mean, we had kids this year, but it wasn't.
Are kids interested in Mary Poppins anymore?
I think families will take their kids to see it.
Families, yes, I guess you're right,
That's
and they're
and
the ones that have the control. So you're
exactly.
right.
We're gonna go see this.
Right,
That's
right, right.
and it's Disney. That's what kids are gonna see. Kids are gonna look at it and
Yeah.
go Disney, and that's gonna be the end of that discussion.
No, I agree. I agree. It's gonna be sad to not have a Star Wars at the Christmas time. I've just gotten used to it.
I am wondering, but now looking at the release schedule,
Hmm.
if you wanted but you got Wreck-It Ralph, damn. Because all I could think was, how long? No, come on. There's a week in there. Bump Solo to December 7th.
Yeah.
Move it. Let Wreck-It Ralph have
Hmm.
2 weeks, and then
Hmm.
drop Solo.
Right.
Because that gives you 2 weeks before Aquaman and all that. As opposed to, you have Deadpool a week before, which is going to
Right.
eat your profits, because
Hmm.
people are still going to go see that. And then, isn't there something else the week after? Where in the hell? Where was Solo? Solo, May 25th. So what? After Solo, well, Solo's going to have a couple weeks.
Right.
Fine. But that first chunk, I mean, Deadpool is going to take a chunk out of its opening
Oh
weekend.
yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I know Deadpool's a week before, but not everybody is going to come out opening weekend. They're going to have a hell of a time opening weekend. But that second weekend, Deadpool is still going to be big. So Solo is not going to have the opening weekend it could have if you dropped it. Drop it December 7th. Move it 6 months. It's
Yeah.
gonna be fine. It will live. Let Star Wars keep being a Christmas tradition. It's not too late.
Right. No, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Bump Solo 6. If they do, it'll be a brilliant move, I think.
Yeah.
And that's a gamble I would be willing to take. And that's a time, because you've got, that gives Wreck-It Ralph 2 weeks. And I know you don't want Disney overlap. I know
Right.
that's not what they want. But the crowd for Solo is not necessarily the crowd for Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Right.
And if they are, they'll have already seen it by then. And then you've got a week until Mortal Engines, which is not going to cut as big into your bottom line as Deadpool 2 will. And then you've got another week until Bumblebee and Aquaman. And if you're given the choice between Star Wars, which, let's be honest, the overall opinion of the crowd was, yay, Star Wars.
Right.
Or you've got Transformers spin-off,
Mhm.
which, maybe? I don't know. And your other choice is Aquaman. Hey, remember Justice League and how most people didn't really like it?
Right. Right.
I take that over Deadpool 2 because that's guaranteed money. Everybody's going to come out. Everybody loved Deadpool. Everybody's excited for the sequel. Everybody's going to come out. It's going to have staying power. Its second week is going to kill Solo's opening week.
No, I completely agree.
It absolutely is. And I'm begging Disney, move Solo to December.
Right.
Put it out December 7th.
Yeah.
I understand you've got all the marketing materials printed, but you're 6 months between Star Wars movies right now. The Last Jedi, and then barely 6 months. Not even, I don't think. Before the next one, I think that's bad. I don't like that.
No.
Bump it 6 months. Give it to us December 7th.
I agree.
I don't know. And I understand the argument against that. Again, is 2 weeks after it. Well, no, hell, because if you put it out on the 7th, you've had Wreck-It Ralph 2 weeks, and then Star Wars 3 weeks until Mary Poppins.
Right.
I think you're fine. I think you're absolutely fine.
No,
Hell, if nothing else, move Wreck-It Ralph up a week. No, maybe don't do that. Move it up 2 weeks. Move it up to the 9th. Move it up to November 9th.
Yeah.
No, because then you've got, damn it, Disney, you got too many movies, because you've got the Nutcracker on the 2nd. Nobody's going to see the Nutcracker. Put Wreck-It Ralph on the 9th.
Right. Just cancel it. Just don't come out with it.
Or damn it,
I'm just kidding.
move Wreck-It Ralph to January.
That's true.
Bump it a month,
Yeah.
a month and a half, whatever. But put Solo in its place. There's your damn solution. Move Wreck-It Ralph from, where were we? From November 22nd to January something. Delay it 2 months, and then put Solo in its place.
Yeah.
Because that's fantastic. No, I'll go you one better. Put Solo out November 28th. There. Then everybody's happy, because that gives Fantastic Beasts 2
and it's
weeks?
still Christmas time. It's still the Thanksgiving. It's still going to be a little chilly for everybody, and it's going to be that time of year is the best for Star Wars,
Yes.
I think. You got a good book, you're just, that's what I want it to be.
November. Put it out that November. Give me the damn, what's the Friday there?
I don't know why they thought it would be a good idea to put it out in the middle of the year, especially when we just had The Last Jedi.
Exactly. I don't understand.
Space it out.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Especially when the freaking movie, halfway through, they were like, well, let's start over. Like, you'd think that would have been the perfect excuse to be like, let's push it. Let's just push it. It's Star Wars. We're going to make a bunch of money, so why don't we give it more time, and then we can marinate this a little bit better.
Exactly. I mean, there's... this all just screams rush, and I don't like it, because it can be salvaged. All right, give me November. Yes, give me November.
Plenty of time for toys.
Yeah, it'd be what, November 30th. Give me give me bump Wreck-It Ralph to December, and give me Solo on November 30th. Because you're gonna have kids. You're not gonna get kids with Wreck-It Ralph and Mary Poppins.
Right.
You're gonna get families with Mary Poppins on Christmas. Yes, you will. These theaters will be absolutely jam freaking packed. Mm-hmm. But don't do Wreck-It Ralph. Bump Wreck-It Ralph to the end of January or something, and give me Star Wars November 30th. I'm telling you, man. If they decide to go with that, it's gonna be a great move, and I'm calling it. If they do it. I am calling it right here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I completely agree with you.
But
man, we haven't even gotten to the news. Should we just do the news next week?
I mean, there's not a whole lot. And we kind of covered a lot of it going through this stuff, actually.
That's true. Let's kind of look over this here.
We covered
They're doing a black.
Yeah, we covered that. We covered the Mutants news.
Mm-hmm.
The guys who wrote Spider-Man Homecoming might be directing Flashpoint.
That's awesome.
John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein.
Yeah.
Shazam got a release date, April 5th of next year.
Mm-hmm.
We covered Creed 2 news. They wrapped filming on Avengers 4. That's neat.
Awesome.
Post-production's going to take a year.
Yep.
At least. John Williams will finish the journey he started and score Episode 9.
Awesome.
Which is fantastic. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that's changed about that franchise, not the score.
Yeah.
I love it. I really, really love it.
Yeah.
DiCaprio is going to star in Tarantino's Manson film.
Great.
Cool.
Awesome.
That'll be neat.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this one was neat, but there's not a lot of meat to it.
Right.
Abrams is shopping around a script for a new sci-fi TV series.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know anything about it at all, other than it's a thing and he wants to do it. Starz officially announced the John Wick spin-off series. We'd known about it forever.
Mm-hmm.
But the Continental, the one about the hotel or whatever it is.
Yeah. Oh, and I also want to say, real fast.
Go for it.
A certain showrunner just inked a deal with ABC.
Who?
Carlton Cruz.
I know that name.
Rumors are spreading that he is going to somehow bring back Lost.
Oh, here we go.
I would love it, first of all. Let me say, Lost is arguably my favorite show of all time. Game of Thrones maybe is, but Game of Thrones is still fresh. I can't explain how awesome that first season of Lost was for me. That got me into television.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
Yeah. And I liked where it went. I know a lot of people didn't, but I loved where it went. You could easily do this two ways. You could tell an entire show that revolved around Hurley and Ben and whatever new characters, because we never saw that saga unfold. We only saw the beginning of that. We saw where Hurley was, okay, I am the guy now for this island and you are my helper, and we have no idea how long Hurley lived on that island.
True.
We have no idea that story. We only saw Hurley's and Ben in the afterlife after that. And so we don't know that story. So that could be an entirely new story. I don't know if that would work, or they would completely redo the idea of Lost on something else with completely new characters, completely new cast, and just to be a new mystery.
I think that's where you go with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'd be down for anything that is like that. I would totally be cool with, and to have that guy back in charge, absolutely. So I don't think they know exactly. I don't think there was any sort of news except for the fact that ABC just scored him, and now he signed a multi-year deal with them.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So who knows? And I think he gave a vague answer to someone, because someone asked, "Well, you're bringing back Lost," and he's like, "Wouldn't that be great?" And that was it.
If we have to start doing shows where we review the new season of Lost, I am going to need more whiskey.
Look, Lost got me into podcasting. That was my first podcast. There was a podcast with Carlton Cruz and David Lindelof every week.
True.
And they talked about the mysteries and they talked about whatever, and I didn't know what I was listening to, and I was like, this is awesome. And they are archived somewhere. I went to the archive, and they're just, the files aren't working correctly, and I was pissed because I was like, I want to go back and listen to those podcasts of how ridiculous it was, with them teasing everything and drawing it out. It was the first time I watched television where outside of television I was involved in it. I wanted to know the mystery. I was Googling all of these different things they were hinting at, and there was that whole game that you played outside of the show. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so trying to figure it out, that was awesome. So, but I don't know the quote or anything, but he talked to some reporters and he was like, I think for sure ABC would bring Lost back at some point in time. And then they were like, are you bringing it back? And he was like, wouldn't that be neat? And that was it. And so he wouldn't give any more answers.
I would really love for just as a gag, just as a joke, for them to say, hey, we've got this guy and he's doing a new show for ABC. It's called Found.
That would be great.
That would be a magnificent joke tweet. I would absolutely love that.
All you have is, it's a Super Bowl commercial. It's just black screen. It's silence. Suddenly you see the silhouette of, looks like a bunch of survivors, and the words pan out and it says found, and it goes boom. And so, what's that? Everyone would freak out.
Yeah.
But yeah. So who knows? There's been a million shows that tried to copy Lost, so I don't know if this would be the same kind of deal. So who knows? But anyway, sorry, back to the news.
American Gods Season 2 finally has a showrunner. It's going to be Neil Gaiman, because we know he's not busy.
Wow.
Guy's got so much going on. Now he's going to do this. He's got Good Omens on Amazon.
Oh, wow.
Yeesh. I wish I had his work ethic.
Right.
I wish I had his amount of employment.
Yeah.
UK Channel 4 is doing a TV series based off Monsters, which was the Gareth Edwards film from a while back.
Mm-hmm.
Ronan Bennett, who worked on Public Enemies, is going to showrun.
Cool.
That's neat. A little bit of quick video game news. Sea of Thieves gets a closed beta this month. It's January 24th through 29th. And we had a Switch, what do you call it, a mini direct, I guess?
Yeah, there was a mini direct. They showed Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, which has Funky Kong mode,
Yeah.
which is just easy mode.
Yeah.
I saw so many memes that were hilarious where it had like the Bible with Funky Kong mode and like all these different all these different movies and books and stuff with it. It was so good.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was like Dark Souls with Funky Kong mode. Just so many. But that was another one. That was another big one. Is that Dark Souls Remastered was announced coming to the Switch May 15th. It's also coming to like everything else, including like refrigerators.
Oh, so they're giving it the Doom treatment then.
Yeah, exactly. The Skyrim treatment. So it was just a bunch of cool little looking games. Rumor is they're going to have another Switch Direct very soon. Like some like official person at Ubisoft accidentally tweeted out. Not accidentally, they were like, "Can't wait to talk to you guys very soon about a Switch thing. Pay attention very soon." And they had to delete their tweet. But it's out there now. Like it's so I don't know. I just want them to announce Virtual Console by E3. They have to.
Yeah,
and well overdue.
Yeah, and did you see that Netflix when they have you seen their statement on a Switch app?
Yeah,
this was a garbage statement. They haven't ruled it out.
Everyone knows that. Well, yeah, they've already built it. I listened to an interview with the people who did the Hulu app for the Switch. They were on Wavepoint, and they talked about how, of course, Hulu made an app for it before Nintendo was even, ready, and they know Netflix has as well. It's 100% in Nintendo's, it's on their court of if there's going to be an app on it or not. There's right now the Switch has the fastest selling rate of any console of all time in America. So there is a market to put the Netflix app on it.
It should have had one at launch. Really,
it should have had.
The Wii U had a freaking Netflix app at launch, if I remember right.
Yeah. Nintendo is killing it when it comes to software, so I can't blame them from that. They're killing it when it comes to the hardware. That's awesome. But that my biggest criticism, because I know as much as I fanboy out about it and love it to death, it is arguably becoming the system that I play the most now over my PC and my PlayStation. And it is the fact that it does not have Virtual Console. That is my number one complaint, because it is the easiest. It's a ROM. You put a ROM in a file in a folder on a server and you give it to us. I mean, for Christ's sakes, they gave us a golf game secretly and then took it away secretly because people found it. There's no excuse for them not to have the Virtual Console on there right now. We have an arcade port of Mario that they just put on there. Just like, oh, here's the arcade Mario, like a fuck you tease. That's my biggest problem. They have all these amazing indie games, first party support, all third party support, all this stuff on it right now. But the Virtual Console is the one thing they're missing.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing. And then, of course, the simple ones, like you should have a web browser on there, and you should have Netflix. The web browser, I think that's the one they're very cautious about because kids are on it, and they're afraid that they're going to go to...
Yeah, do you really need a web browser, honestly?
You don't, but it was on the 3DS at launch, so come on. Where is it at?
Okay, the PS4 has a web browser app. Does anybody ever use it?
No. But a mobile one would be kind of cool. To like sit on your couch with it, and I completely agree. But don't get me wrong, I completely agree. But I think that also opens up the door for a lot of issues with hacking and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm okay with no web browser.
Malware, yeah. But no, Netflix should be there. The WWE app should be there. They should have like these HBO, like there should be the big ones on there. There's Hulu, for Christ's sakes. There should be Netflix. If
there's a streaming app on, some of these are so mainstream. I can understand the WWE Network not being on there, but you have to have in this order: Netflix, Hulu, Amazon.
Yep.
In that order. I hesitated a little with the last two. And then HBO Go. Yes.
Right. Yeah, because those are the big ones, and it's a shame it's not on there. And I mean, by now the Switch has been out. It's going to be out for a year and a few months. We should have gotten at least like freaking 30 or 40 of their old games.
Yeah.
It costs them nothing to optimize them for the Switch. Literally nothing. They put it in a ROM and then they put it in a folder and they allow you to buy it. So that's just frustrating.
Yeah.
But everything else I love about it, can't praise them enough. Yeah. But what else? What other news do we have here? Oh, by the way, real fast, did you get your email from PlayStation that told you how many hours you played last year?
No, I don't think so.
Or you go check your email real fast. I'll go over mine.
All right.
If you have access to it, yeah, because just search PlayStation in whatever email you have attached to it. So it tells me, Adam, you've been pursuing greatness for 9 years. Holy shit. And here's your journey through 2007. The first stop was the first game, January 1st, 2017, when I played Titanfall 2. And it was the first trophy I earned. So that was the first game I played in 2017. Next stop, you're on the road. Over the months, I have played, 493 hours.
Wow.
Over 72 different games, while making the most progress in November with 85 hours of gameplay. Holy shit. Welcome, and see how it compared to the rest of the PlayStation gamers. See it in your full recap. I don't know if I'll look at that. But basically, for the most played game of 2017, number 1 was Destiny 2 with 132 hours. Injustice 2 was 74, and Call of Duty was 68.
Nice. Yeah,
I got 84 trophies this year.
Yeah, I don't have one of those.
Oh, you should have gotten it.
I don't have it.
Nothing?
No,
Oh, man.
I don't know. Maybe it just hasn't gone out yet.
Yeah, no, mine showed up,
What's the date on it?
8 hours ago.
Oh, hell, they're probably
Yeah.
still crunching the numbers on mine.
Yeah.
No, I haven't been like I have been in years past.
Okay.
I had I'm telling you what, if they went back and had done that for like 2010,
Yeah.
like anytime between like 08 and 11, like those years, if they went back and looked in that, they would have gone, oh boy, okay. Well, he put 142 hours into Skyrim, and he put 130 hours into Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was the same. It was either the same year or one right after the other. Might have been one after the other. I think Gundam was first. But I had some years, man. Well, I mean, you've seen how many platinum trophies I have.
Oh yeah. I don't have any.
Like
I don't think I have one.
Those all came from pretty much that 3-year stretch. That 2-3 years.
Oh wow.
I haven't gotten one in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I want to say I don't have time, because clearly I do. I have straight ADD, and I think that it shows up well there when it says how many games I have played, because I jump and jump and jump and jump and jump, and I feel like I play enough to be like, okay, I understand that experience and I enjoyed it and I'm ready for something else. But I'm ashamed because there's a million that I should be playing. 23. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's just sounds like I'm trying to see what was the last platinum that I got.
Oh wow!
And I've got to go way down.
Yeah, it shows here that the average PlayStation gamer played for 218 hours. The most active month in 2017 for PlayStation gamers was July, with 1.13 billion hours. And I wonder if that's when Destiny came out. I'm not sure.
Might have been, yeah.
The top 3 most played games for PlayStation gamers in 2017 were Grand Theft Auto 5 with 1.13 billion hours, NBA 2K17 with 767 million hours, and Call of Duty Black Ops 3 for 519 million hours.
Damn.
Yeah, that's insane.
I did not get one platinum trophy at all last year.
Oh wow.
I found my most recent one. It was July 7th, 2016.
What was it?
It was for Rocket League.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember when you got that.
Yeah, that's how long it's been. Oh, I have to fix that. Well, the good news is I had enough Sony rewards to cash in for enough gift cards to pick up the Naruto Legacy Collection.
There you go.
So I have, God, going back and playing the first one before it was, back when it was original Naruto and it wasn't
Hmm.
Shippuden. Oh, that
I have
combat
no idea
system
what
is
you just
wonky.
said.
I know. It's, it's the different. Here's the thing: the difference between Naruto and Naruto Shippuden is like the difference between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
Everybody's older, not by
Which have
much. It's like a 3 year gap, but it's substantive.
well, what have you played the new Dragon Ball Fighters game?
I didn't get into the beta in time.
Beta starts actually tonight, right now.
Starts tonight.
There's a 24-hour beta right now because of the issues over the weekend.
Oh, I didn't know there were issues.
Yo, there was major issues. Well, I pre-ordered the game, so I got to play like a day early.
Yeah.
So it was fine. But then the next day, everyone I read in some of the groups that we're in, they were like, "Yeah, I've been trying all day, can't get in." I felt terrible for them. So
Wow.
they extended a day.
They better have. Yeah.
Yeah. So should be able to actually after
Okay.
the show if you wanted to log in and
Crap,
test it.
I'm gonna have to re-download it.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those like. Oh man, that game is the way the game plays is the combos you can be super easy where you just mash a button and you do one move after another move after another move and it does this really cool animation and you can just spam that the whole time or you could do like actual combos where you're spamming like down right X, down, and then you chain them all together. But it's just everybody spamming in the game, and
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I like it or not. I am so torn because I played a lot of fighting games this year, and it's so different from Injustice. Injustice is so much slower. Tekken is so much more slower. Where this is it's really fast and it's at least with Marvel vs. Capcom I feel like I can do damage. With this, you play against the right person and you're not gonna get a hit in.
Yeah.
And they're gonna blow up the planet on you, and or if they're boo, they're gonna eat you. And so, yeah, it's but besides that, it is the most Dragon Ball game they have. It's beautiful, even if you're not into Dragon Ball Z. The game is just stunning to look at.
Nice.
But everyone seems to like it, so yeah, go ahead and give it a try. I got it, so if you end up getting it, or I know you don't like Dragon Ball, but if you end up like getting it on GameFly or something, let me know. Do a few rounds.
Yeah, I'll see if it's here, I'll download the I love having apps. Man, I really love apps.
Yep.
Because I can download it from the store app.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I did for the beta.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I got to re-download it.
Oh yeah.
But it's in rest mode. Sync, damn it. But anyway, that's always been the fun part.
Yeah.
But
I saw that Goldberg is going to be introduced in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, they're gonna induct Goldberg this year.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be good.
Mhm. I saw there were some sexual harassment not charges, but allegations to Aziz Ansari.
This is a weird story. And I'll mention it this week to say we'll talk about it next week just because it keeps like there's a new kind of development every day.
Oh, I haven't been paying attention.
The gist of it is that this woman was on a date with Aziz and they went back to his apartment and according to some reports they got naked, some reports just don't mention it, and he made advances and she just kind of kept walking away, like was kind of into it but then walked away, and like he was kind of like, oh okay, I get it, you don't want to do this, and then later like kind of followed her around the apartment, and like it was a case of he wanted to and she wasn't sure. And in every movie we've ever seen, pretty much what you do is, oh well, eventually you just go along with it and then you get into it. And
if she wasn't into it, why didn't she leave?
Well, that's the argument, but again, it's the idea of this is Aziz Ansari, and it,
Were they on a date? I don't get it. It sounds like they were on a date and they were going to hook up, and she was, you know, maybe not sure about it.
exactly, and that's why this is a weird story, because
Yeah.
is this
Let me say this. It doesn't sound like Harvey Weinstein level. It sounds like something that might be in a gray area.
this is that's why I'm saying, like, there's something new every day, because some people are coming out and saying, clearly she was demonstrating that she didn't want this, so you shouldn't have pursued it, and eventually he did drop it, and they decided to just hang
Well,
out.
you saying they're both naked changes everything.
Yeah, but then it's the idea of did
I don't get naked with my friends.
well, but then it's the idea of the intent originally was like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and then maybe she changed her mind, which happens, and at that point, it's like, oh, okay, so this is done now.
This is awkward now, yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of that, regardless of whether this gets filed under, well, this was a bad date and people didn't communicate or what, there is the idea that, okay, we're gonna do this. Nope, wait, hang on, she changed her mind. Okay, that's game. That's done. It's over. It's not happening. So let it go. But that wasn't what happened. He didn't start just letting it go. Like, he kind of kept after her, and then eventually just kind of gave up on it. And that's that's still icky. That's still creepy.
Yeah.
It
sounds like I don't know. That sounds like something he would turn into a bit on his TV show.
Yeah, which in and of itself is kind of sick. Of like, hey, I had this experience with a girl who I thought I was going to have sex with, and then, like, she got up and walked away like she didn't want to have sex with me. So then, like, I chased her around my apartment, and then
sounds ridiculous.
But apparently, this is kind of how it went. Not like with Benny Hill music.
That's what I'm thinking.
I know, but there's it's kind of like,
it sounds like a bad sitcom.
It does, and that's part of the problem in a way. But that's the thing of, like, the bottom line of whether or not where this falls. The lesson to take away from this is, when she got up and you could clearly see, she got up and walked away. This was over. That's done. Put on your pants. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
And that's where it should have stopped. Regardless of anything after that, that should have been, because that's a pretty clear nonverbal sign of, I don't want to do this. Of, well, I'm going to get up and walk away. Not like, oh, hang on, I'll be right back. But a clearly uncomfortable, no, I need to get up and not be part of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it just needs to just stop right there.
Right.
Regardless of what happened after that or didn't happen after that, the moral of this story needs to be, that's over now. Like, that's done. You look at that and you go, okay, so this isn't happening. And you put your pants on, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, this story gets. There's always something every day. Like, she made her statement, and it was what I would say was a fair assessment of, here's what happened. And then he came out, and basically his statement was, I missed the signs. And I'm thinking, you've got to be pretty stupid. You've got to be really...
You dropped out there for me. What did you say?
It just, there was this...
What was his statement?
His statement was, I missed the signs. And I'm thinking, she got up and walked away, dude. You can't miss that sign. That's, that's where that doesn't fly. So I just, like, again, not on the same level of a Cosby or a Weinstein, but still.
I'm trying not to be so judgmental, because I've done a lot of stupid things drunk, and you're on a date and you don't know, you're not reading a sign correctly, and
but they, there, and that's something else that wasn't mentioned, was that, were they drunk, and it doesn't seem like they were. Now,
Oh,
if you're hammered and you do stupid stuff, look, if you're and I've always said this, if you are both drunk, then when you wake up the next morning
right,
and you look over at who you spent the night with, that's what the walk of shame was
right,
for, men or women. Like
right,
that's I'm sorry,
right,
that's part
right,
of being drunk. If you're both drunk and that's how you wake up, that's the consequence of being drunk. Uh,
right,
you
right,
both decided when you were drunk to do this thing. That's one thing. But if you're, you know, dude, if she gets up and walks away, it's over. That's done
right,
now. Like there is no encore. There is no. This isn't an intermission. That's the end of it. It's
right.
done. And if you're saying, well,
Yeah,
I misinterpreted the signs, that's not a sign that's easy to misinterpret. I don't
right, right,
I
right,
don't know how you don't see that unless you are absolutely blitzed. If
right.
how do you read that one wrong?
Well, these celebs are just they got to be on their p's and q's from now on. They got to be extremely careful who they invite back.
Well, and I mean
Consent, all that stuff.
and I mean here's the thing. This is some of this is so much common sense. You know,
Right,
she gets up and walks away. That's done. It's over.
right,
Take the
right,
loss. You're not getting any that night. Deal with it. Like that's
right.
you know I don't I can understand if this is the kind of story that I could see people running with saying, and now things are getting out of hand. But there is there is at the core of this story a teachable moment, if nothing else.
Well, sure, yeah, yeah.
Which is this very simple thing of
Right,
when she walks away, it's over. Like that's I don't know
right,
how you missed that sign. I don't. But apparently
yeah,
and here's the thing, and this is meant to a broader male audience. Some guys need it spelled out for them. They really do.
oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's very sad. And I think that's the broader point to be made here is that some guys really just don't get that sign. And
Yeah,
for for any various number of reasons. But, it's just it's if nothing else, take this as a chance to reflect and say and to not be so worried about what you want in terms of, well, I think she means this, but here's what I want instead. Screw that. Not about what you want. You know, here's what read the room. Read the room. Very
right.
simple situational awareness. This is all common sense crap. And that in and of itself is also part of the problem. None of these it's just I'm okay with, like, you know what, let's just let women reboot everything. I'm just tired of dudes. I am. Just in general. I'm just tired of it. Because look at the entirety of human history has been white guys run everything. And I'm gonna
Right,
take one for the team here and say our track record is not all that great. So
right.
that's just I don't care. Start it over. I don't care. I'm good. I don't care. Let's have
Right.
Ocean's 8 and Nasty Women and all these other reboots and more studio heads and I side with Amber Tamblyn, who when some people announced that they wouldn't be returning to the Disney board of directors for a couple different reasons. I think one of them was somebody from Facebook, and there was somebody else. And Amber Tamblyn said, we need more women of color on boards like this, and I'm all
Mm-hmm.
for it. We've had
Yeah.
enough old white guys making decisions for a while. Let's have some new perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
mean, I think that's why you look at movies like Ghostbusters, terrible, the new one, terrible. It had nothing to do with because it was all women, but
it's just a
I
bad
like
movie.
I like the way Kathy Kennedy is doing things with Star Wars, because essentially all of the Star Wars stuff is a reboot, and it's all been female lead,
Yep.
female and minority as well.
Yeah.
And so I think that's how you do it. Where at the end of the day, I never even thought about it like that until it was told to me.
Exactly. And isn't
Like
that
I didn't even think about it. Like I was, I remember reading an article and it was like, how cool is that? Like the new Star Wars universe, after all, the few movies that have come out have been female led, and that and minorities play a big part in it. Where like before it was like we had Lando, you know what I mean?
yeah, pretty much.
And he was only in it for just a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't even think of it like that because I'm an idiot, but I think that's how you do it, where it's like they're not it's not just a, hey, let's just all women, all, like they're going too far with it, with the way Ghostbusters did. If that makes sense, it was more of like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it was more of like, it felt more like a gimmick instead of doing it naturally, if
Uh,
that makes sense.
there, that's you've just said the $64 word, which is gimmick.
Right.
If you're doing it,
Yes, instead of it being a gimmick. Hmm.
yeah, if you're doing it just to do that, if you're real, if
Right.
it comes across like, hey, we did this just to say we did this,
Right.
that's it's why people are looking at Ocean's 8 in that same kind of lens, because it kind of smacks
Yeah.
of we did this just to say we did this. But I'll tell you what, I've seen
Hmm.
that trailer a handful of times now, and I'm excited for this because I do think it's not. It's like, hey, we've got women. Why is it all women? Well, because I guess. Like it
Right.
doesn't feel like a gimmick. It just
No.
seems like, hey, this is who she turns to. And they just all
Right.
happen to be women. And that's, I cannot wait.
That's it.
Yeah. I
That's it. The ones that where it just so happens to be, that's the ones that I think are done better.
yeah.
I like that. One thing I didn't even know. Um, oh, where did I pull it up at? Um, I had no idea that it was just because I was watching some things about Dr. Martin Luther King because of this week. I had no idea he was a Trekkie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that he I'm trying to pull up the story here, and I know I'm gonna butcher the story, but I think it was Nichols who was playing Ahura.
Yep.
She was gonna quit after the first season, and I had no idea that, like, she tells a story that she talked to Dr. Martin Luther King, and he was like, I'm a, they weren't called Trekkies back then, but he was like, I'm a huge Star Trek fan. So is my wife, and so are my kids, and it's the one show we let them stay up to watch because they get to see a black woman in space, and an officer at that, and you're not playing a black role, you are just playing the role. You're just playing a role.
Yeah.
And it was one of the first of that time to be like that, and that stuck with her. And she went to Gene Roddenberry. She said, I guess, whenever she talked to him next back on set, and said she was staying on, and he was like, well, welcome home. And so, the representation matters. So it matters that there's more women in prominent roles, and minorities, and not just role, but like just the whole aspect of Hollywood. And especially when it's done right, when it's not just we're just going to, ham fist this. It's like, no, this is just a natural. It just so happens the main character is female, or the main character is a minority. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it always felt natural when I'm watching the Star Wars movies. And I think other studios can look at what Kathy Kennedy's doing and go off of that. I'd like to see a female director tackle a Star Wars film.
Hell yeah.
That kind of stuff. And I'd like it to be like, I just find out later. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's like, it's not. I want it to be. I want it to be this natural thing that people hear and they're not like shocked that it shouldn't be a news story. You know what I mean? We need to get
Yeah.
to the point where this is not a news story anymore. But I don't know. I thought that was interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I've heard that story a couple different times, and I love it. I really do love that story.
yeah.
But it's
Uh,
I keep thinking of why 2017 should be remembered for Wonder Woman, really, from
right.
top to
Right.
bottom. It was just not just because of
Mm-hmm.
Patty Jenkins being a magnificent director or Gal Gadot being a tremendous lead, but the way it tackled everything. For a movie set
Yeah.
in the 19 teens, it was mind-bogglingly progressive, but so natural. Their conversations on the boat were just it was just the easiest, like, well, what do you mean things aren't this way? Like, we learned this and we learned that, and we look at things and we think, my God, this is progressive by today's standards, and this was set more than 100
Right.
years ago.
Yeah.
We need more of that, because it's also going to lead to better movies. Hell, if for nothing else, like, we're just going to have better quality films if we have people from different backgrounds and different viewpoints directing them and starring in them and writing them and producing them.
Absolutely. They should be, not just DC, but every company, even Marvel should be looking at that. Like, Marvel could have easily done something like that before, but they didn't. Now they are. Now they're doing a Black Widow movie. So, I hope that DC sees Wonder Woman and they see that as, like, we need to emulate that. We need to figure out what lightning in a bottle that movie was, and we need to do something and strive to be like it. And you can do that with other characters, and that was the right tone. It was the right message, and they all don't have to be the same message, you know what I mean? But they can be something, something similar to that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought it was great. I wish Justice League was a fraction of that, and it kind of was in a way. That some of my favorite moments of that movie were with Wonder Woman, but it just, I don't know.
I just have two words for Marvel when it comes to female higher ups in movies or anything. Nicole Perlman. That's it. Because I mean, she gave us Guardians. That was through that program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, through Marvel's little, hey, we've got a bunch of writers. You guys pick a property and write a script. And she grabbed what even then was an obscure-ass title. And she said, I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And turned it in, and look at what it became.
You know what movie she's making next?
What's she making next?
Well, Captain Marvel, that's good. I'm excited for that.
Right, yeah.
But one, and this might be a sliver of interest for me, but I'm still not going to see it, Detective Pikachu.
Oh, God, that's right. She is working on that, isn't she?
But it goes to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Something that is so weird and abstract. Maybe she makes it interesting. I have no idea. I don't want to see it. But if it's one of these Jumanji things where it comes out and everyone's like, you got to see this.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not too... I don't have that much pride, I guess, but it's absolutely nothing I want to see. That might be the sliver of hope it has.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
But that goes to your point. Like, she takes something kind of, silly, like Guardians of the Galaxy, and she turns it into something awesome. So, yeah.
But to the future. Always to the future.
To the future. So I think that's probably going to end it because we are way over.
Yeah.
But make sure you go to our iTunes, give us a review. Make sure you go to our Facebook group, We Geek Podcast. Of course, go to send us an email, wegeekpodcast@gmail.com. It's our Twitter is @TheLoganWitt, @AdamEstep, We Geek Podcast, and we will see you guys next Wednesday. Captain.